Hello there, fam. Happy motherfucking Monday. It's Monday for me. Welcome to the All Signs Tarotscopes readings. This is going to cover April 2022. This is the intro. If you were looking for your particular reading, you can find it down below in the description box where you can click on your sign. They've all been time-stamped. Just a couple announcements before we keep going. I put, of course, my notes right where I can't see them. So let's adjust this. Please remember to like my shit, friends. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. Along with leaving a comment if there's something in here that resonated. Drop a heart. Let your girl know that you enjoyed this. Please remember to check your sun, moon, and rising signs for additional perspectives. And down below in the description, you can also find the links to book a private reading along with shopping for crystals. I opened up a crystal shop in November 2021. You can also find the links to my IG. So see you guys in your reading. Aries, what's up, boo? Happy motherfucking Monday. It's Monday for me. Let's get into your motherfucking reading. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, boo. Either your birthday's past, maybe it's today, maybe it's coming up. Either way, happy motherfucking birthday, Aries people. I love Aries people. My oldest daughter is an Aries. She drives me fucking crazy, but she's the apple of my eye. So I love my Aries people. I find that most Aries people they drive me crazy, but I love them. Can't get enough of them, okay? All right, so let's break this down. We're going to kind of talk about the energies that are showing up for you guys this month, Aries, for April 2022. Please remember to check your moon and rising sign readings for additional perspectives. Please, friends, if you're here watching me, please hit that like button. It helps my channel grow. As well as dropping a heart, leaving a comment. Ace of Pentacles popped out while I'm talking. So we're looking at new endeavors that might involve your money, your coinage, your careers, could involve your house. This is beginning start of something that you're coming out strong, is feeling very exciting for you. You will be supported on whatever this is for you, okay? All right, let me get centered. 5-card spread with clarification cards. I'm going to try and set a timer and stay on track. 15 minutes is the goal. However, you know, might go a little over for you guys. Lots of yellow, okay? But at the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Swords, which is feeling really depleted, feeling overwhelmed. So this makes me feel like maybe you're not feeling so great, but you're doing your best to show up, is kind of what that means to me when we get this heavy energy at the bottom of the deck, but pops of yellow here. Okay. So big things are happening for you, working on manifesting and creating something material, okay? You could be working on manifesting or building or growing, maybe even with a partner. It doesn't have to be a partner. The center card is King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is traditionally somebody earth sign. Technically, he's a Taurus, okay? But it doesn't have to be a Taurus or even an earth sign. He's indicative of someone in your life who's really good with money. Could be an entrepreneur, business person, somebody who is about their coinage, okay? If this is not a person that this month will be kind of, these cards to me are basically telling me what your month is going to be kind of comprised of, okay? So if this isn't a person that you feel like your month is going to be kind of centered around, or the theme of the month isn't a person, we're looking at issues with money, career, some sense of expansion in your self-worth, some sense of growth in your material gains. The King of Pentacles can also represent your health and how you feel in your body, right? There's material, your body is a part of Pentacles, because when you die, you can't take your body with you, right? It's a material thing. It's a physical thing. So we're working on transforming and transitioning, or somehow becoming more empowered with these themes, okay? We have the Magician followed by the King of Pentacles in the center. So feeling very empowered. Some of you guys may be trying to rush some process. Look, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy, just so you know, is the slowest energy of the zodiac, okay? They're slow moving, they're thorough, they're consistent. So this process that you're going through isn't meant to be finalized or in a month or even in a year, okay? So we want to just make sure, especially because we have the King of Pentacles in the center, that you're really taking your time, especially because your first card out is Knight of Swords reverse. You also get the Ace of Swords reverse. Both the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Swords, well, they're both swords, but they're also reverse, okay? Swords rule our head, how we think, how we see, how we speak, how we process information. Reverse swords can represent a lot of confusion happening for us. So we really want to take the time to cross all of our T's, dot all of our I's, and not rush through a process. Some of you guys may be dealing with maybe even an earth sign. Knight of Swords traditionally, air sign. Knight of Swords traditionally is an air sign person, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, okay? If it's not a person you're dealing with, you're just or it's not an air sign, you could be dealing with somebody who's very kind of impulsive, and maybe this person is an aspect of yourself, actually. This Knight of Swords in this particular reading, for me, feels like, although it could be somebody else, it feels like it's an aspect of your process in whatever you're building. It feels like it's a part of you that's trying to hurry up, make shit happen, very impulsive, kind of maybe a little bit careless, and kind of coming in and fucking up all your shit, okay? So maybe this is you're going down the road and you're like, ooh, I got this idea, and you're building, you're really doing some things, you're feeling very empowered, but then you might have this part of you that comes in, and even this part of you that comes in could also be anxiety, overthinking, things like that, things that would attempt to come in and derail you, parts of yourself, habits or habitual thinking, or things like that happen in the mind or the head, okay? We really want to find some discipline and get this stuff in check, because you're on a really fucking bomb-ass path, okay? Your last card out is the Empress. The Empress is taking all this shit and pulling us through your reading. So she's really being the guiding light. She's really being the strength in the reading. The Empress is traditionally called the wife and the mother. Okay, she's also a major arcana. You have two major arcanas in your reading, which represent major life themes. So for the month of April, you got a lot of shit going on. You have lots of opportunity to change, to manifest, to use your power or use your energy to create things that you want to see in this lifetime, okay? The Empress is helping us pull that through. She's our second major arcana. She's the wife and the mother, but she's just indicative if you're not a wife, if you're not a mother, or you don't for some reason identify or understand, or that doesn't resonate for you. She's a person that represents creativity and abundance and feeling very fulfilled and feeling and enjoying all aspects of life, even the parts that feel kind of stressful. She always is able to kind of rise to the occasion and find some fun or play or some luxury within it somehow. Okay, so let's pull some clarification cards. Do I dare? I'm going to try something completely different, or it's not all that different. It's just a different deck. Okay, 5 cards, please. Aries, did you hit that like button yet, boo? You hit that button? Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, one more shuffle, and then we'll do one of these 5 cards right off the top, please. Actually, let's do 3 of these. 2. Right off the top, please. 5 cards. Okay, so for some of you guys, children are kind of at the forefront of what's happening in your life. Let me kind of, wait, let me digest. I always do that. Hold on, let me digest a sec. Okay. One story I see is that some of you guys may be working on having children, okay? This is a great potential for you. This is something that could actually happen for you. Okay, so underneath the Empress, we get focus on children. Remember I told you the Empress is the wife and the mother? Okay, she's said to be pregnant here. So not only do we end the spread with issues about motherhood or fertility or abundance or creativity, but we also have the card focus on children, pregnancy, birth, or adoption, okay? So remember, these are metaphors too. If you're not trying to have a baby, they're just saying that it's possible for you to birth or conceive whatever idea or project that you're working on. Underneath the Knight of Swords, who initially for me is the energy of overthinking, anxiety, stress, and worry. Underneath the Knight of Swords, we get begin writing now. Create, express, and inspire. So for some of you guys who are having like a lot of thoughts or a lot of anxieties, there might be some kind of creative way of tapping into that energy and somehow using it to benefit you. Okay, that's one thing. As we move through the spread, we have the Magician, right? So the Magician is a number one. He's pure potential. He stands here before his table with all four of his tools. The sword, the pentacle, the cup, and the wand, right? So all suits of the major arcana. So you get this really powerful card in your second position. Okay, so he's standing before this table and he's about to make magic. He is very optimistic. He is in touch with his purity, right? He's surrounded by white. All around him, he's got this aura of white, right? He's a number one. He comes after the number 0, who is the Fool. We know the Fool is about having faith and trust in a process. It's having childlike faith, right? The Fool is so almost kind of blissfully ignorant that he's willing to try anything. Then we move to number 1, the Magician. So not only do you have still residing in you some sense of curiosity and childlike faith in what you're going on, of what you're doing, but this is also a time of like a lot of power. So if you were to really kind of focus your energy into whatever thing you're working on or business you're trying to build, financial goals, body health goals, self-worth goals, right? Finances, career stuff, your bag, your coinage is all a part of worth, right? Because we go for things that we believe that we can do, right? So your career, your business is a parallel for how you actually feel about yourself, right? Okay, I went off on a tangent, but we're working on these things right now, and these things can be manifested, and you're well on your way to doing them. Underneath the Magician we have, it says, have courage. So for those of you who, yes, I achieved my move goal for the day. So those of you who have started something but are maybe a little bit leery of really moving into it, now's the time, okay? It says have courage, strength, fearlessness, and warrior. Okay, so don't let it just be an idea, right? Let's actually move it into reality. Our center card is the King of Pentacles, whose mastery of our coinage. This is a business person, an entrepreneur. This is somebody really in touch with their body. This is somebody who's mastered issues with finance, career, health, body, worth. If you haven't mastered it yet, it's just saying that you can actually do this. You can attain this. Below it, we get interact and relate, community, family, and traditions. Community, family, and traditions. Underneath the King of Pentacles. So if you are working on something, they're saying that it's going to be important for you to Spread your little tentacles out. If you're somebody who likes to be kind of low key, this might be a month where it's important for you to do a little bit more networking, a little bit more socializing, reaching out to family, relatives, things like that. Making sure to spread the word about whatever it is you're trying to do. If it's something like, you know, sales, how can you boost your business or boost what you're working on, whether it be business, body, whatever, through networking and through connecting to other people. Okay, our fourth card out is the Ace of Swords reverse. This is Ace of Swords reverse is, well, it's an ace, so we love it, but because it comes with the reverse Knight of Swords here, it just shows that there's a sense of like confusion and feeling foggy or unable to really see the bigger picture. Okay, it's not necessarily for you to have everything visually or kind of imaginatively figured out. Okay, so that's Ace of Swords. Below it, we have honor the deities around you, prayers, offerings, and help. So sometimes we can be so human, right, that we forget that we have other tools besides the ones we can pick up on our table, right? We actually have spiritual tools, which would be paying reverence or asking for help for angels, ancestors, spirit guides, loved ones who have passed on. They want to help, right? They have this unique ability to be able to see our lives in a very expansive view, and their spirit, right? They're full, pure spirit. So it's going to be important to ask for help and to tap into your spiritual resources, whether you do energy work or you do visualization, prayer, meditation, or you speak directly to ancestors, loved ones who have passed. Okay, so they're asking you to tap into that resource. Underneath the Empress, here we have focus on children, pregnancy, birth, and adoption. So like I was saying in the beginning, for some of you guys, this might be, you know, maybe you're on the path to trying to create something, or maybe you're on the path to have a baby, or you're on a fertility journey, a conception journey of any sort, right? And they're just saying that there might be a period that you reach, this Ace of Swords reverse, where the path doesn't feel, where you don't understand, or there's some kind of like, you know, maybe you're going strong, you're doing all the things you need to do, and you kind of hit this point in your journey where it's like hard for you to understand, like, why this, why that, how's this supposed to happen, and where you aren't able to understand it fully. And they want to just make sure that you're just continuing to take your steps, right? And move through any of that confusion by doing the physical things that you need to do and asking for spirit to kind of guide the way, and or to take the way, lead the way, show you the way. Okay. At the bottoms of the decks here, we have Nine of Swords reversed. So this is, you know, he's just like, oh my God, so fed up and overwhelmed. And at the bottom of the next deck, we have laugh and have fun, smile, positive energy, and joyfulness. Okay. So they're just wanting you, got a burp, sorry. For some of you guys, you might even need to just literally turn on some comedy and let yourself laugh and be more lighthearted, as a means, as a way to help you kind of pull yourself out of some of this like overthinking. Overthinking is like kind of the key theme of this reading. Overthinking, stuck in the cycles of the thoughts that don't really help. So it might be useful to do some either physical work, working outside, or getting some exercise, or even meditation would be great. Okay. All right, Aries, I fucking love you. I hope you hit that like button already. Go ahead and drop your girl a comment. I love you. I appreciate you. Please remember to check your moon and risings. Love you. Happy birthday. Taurus, hey boo, how you doing? Happy motherfucking Tuesday. It's Tuesday for me. This is going to be your reading for April 2022, sun, moon, or rising. Please, while you're here, can you hit that like button? I'll wait for you. Thank you, friend. I appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, of course. Leave a comment if you can. All of these things help my channel grow. I really appreciate it. Down below, you can find links in my description for booking a private reading, as well as shopping at my new crystal shop. And also my Instagram page is linked there as well, where I do many other free readings on my Instagram page. So let's get into your motherfucking reading, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I have already pre-shuffled so that we could get right into the reading. So without further ado, Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, what is going on for the month of April? And how can you best prepare yourself? All upright. Okay. They're all upright. Oh, wow. Even the bottom of the deck is upright. Okay. So, I started you off with 5 cards. Okay. Plus the one on the bottom of the deck makes 6. Out of the 6 cards, you got 4 major arcana. Okay. So when we see a lot of majors like this, it just means that life is shifting. Big, great changes are happening, especially because your majors that show up are the Emperor, the Chariot, and the Hanged Man. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. So let's talk about what I'm seeing. Well, you're moving on a path that you've probably had to employ a tremendous amount of discipline and structure, okay? You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Whatever you're working on will be very successful. There is kind of a hint to this building process or this whatever you're working on that feels a little bit scary. That feels maybe kind of like something that you're building or putting together out of fear. Like the first example that comes to mind is somebody who goes and gets a job, even though they don't really love that job. But although for this reading, it doesn't feel like something that you're doing that you don't love. Actually, it feels like there is a tremendous amount of love, but maybe where it rooted from or where it stemmed from somehow is that there was initially some kind of fear about this. Or maybe there's even just kind of this sense of, let me set your timer. Maybe there's even just kind of a sense of protection, needing to protect or to really make sure that this thing can't be intruded upon. Okay, so our first card out is 9 of Wands. So he's very kind of like holding on for dear life, making sure that nobody can interfere with what he's got going on. Okay, he's a little bit scared. There's some fear there. Okay, when we move through the spread, we come into the Emperor. The Emperor is traditionally called the husband and the father. So some of you guys might be going through things with males in your life that kind of play that role. It's not a husband or a father. This is somebody in an authoritative, kind of like a boss position. The Emperor could also just be a part of you. This is somebody who is very disciplined and kind of strategic in how they're moving, really grounded and rooted in all the things that need to get done, the practical things that need to get done, the consistency, the keeping your shit together and making sure everything's in line. So this could also be a part of yourself. They're very kind of rigid, but rigid in a good way, just because it's making sure that things are getting done. Okay, center card is the Chariot. Okay, so that's hella dope. Chariot is ruled, first of all, Emperor is ruled by Aries. So some of you guys might be having some connections with Aries, or Aries is really prominent to you for some reason. Also, we are in Aries season. Center card is the Chariot. Chariot is ruled by Cancer. So we kind of have these two really beautiful a blend of fire and water, right? Aries is very like stubborn, driving forward, moving forward, get it done, whereas Chariot is ruled by Cancer, is more kind of fluid and softer and sensitive, and but still very, very successful here when we see the Chariot in the center. Okay, it's followed by the Ace of Cups. So whatever this is you're working on, especially when you combine, this fiery energy with this very kind of fluid energy, it shows that there will be a lot of abundance coming your way, a lot of success, but also you're enjoying what you're doing, or you will enjoy what you're doing, something like that. Okay, Ace of Cups is like the cup is overflowing. Okay, the last card out we have here is the Hangman. So there might be a little bit of a pause in your process. Not only that, but we have the Hermit. The Hermit's like the slowest character in the Tarot. So he's very slow moving. So he's also about the Hermit going within and inner wisdom, not taking too many steps ahead. You know, he's just very slow and intentional with this process. And there may be even a pause or maybe you're feeling as though things aren't moving at the speed that you would like them. But let me go ahead and pull some clarification cards for all 5 positions and see what's going on here, Taurus. My lovely fellow earth signs. The Hermit here is also ruled by Virgo. So we see more earth energy at the bottom of the deck. Sometimes the bottom of the deck can kind of shed some light on the parts of you that are hard for you to see. You know, the hidden aspects, or maybe even the aspects that would be helpful if you could see, or maybe even it's an aspect of something that you're unable to see, or maybe even in a little bit of denial about. So because we have the Hermit in this position, it means that it would be very useful for you, especially if you're at a point in your process where you're feeling like you're waiting for something, or that you're kind of in limbo, or that you're trying to, you know, it's almost, the Hangman is really cool because he's becoming enlightened because he can't move. His hands are tied, he's tied to this tree, so he can't move at all. But within that process, he is becoming more enlightened. So if you're able, to the best of your ability, to surrender to that process of pausing or whatever you're waiting for, all the better, okay? Okay, so pulling clarification cards on this Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is, I'm protecting what's mine. Okay, Nine of Wands is building something great for himself, but he is paranoid. He is kind of fearful. When I dig a little bit deeper and pull these clarification cards for him, we get the Justice card, Two of Cups, and Seven of Swords. So there's something about what you're going through, what meets the eye, what's on the surface, this process you're moving through, which is going to be very abundant, especially if, you know, hard work, discipline, and a nice amount of flow is implemented. That's what's on the surface. But below that, maybe the impetus or the reason for starting this, there was some sort of, you were wronged somehow. There was something that was unfair. We have the Two of Cups, which is traditionally about like, or maybe not traditionally, but if you look at other readers, Two of Cups is the soulmate card, right? It's these two people coming together, creating a healthy, balanced situation, okay? But I think that it's followed by the Seven of Swords, right? So Seven of Swords is somebody's getting away with something. We also have the Justice card here with this, she's ruled by Libra. Okay, Justice card is also a major arcana card. So a big theme for you as to why you're even doing this is you're looking for justice, and you're trying to help yourself, or maybe even other people, have healthier connections and relationships. This could be about your personal relationship, or this could be about the overall goal for why you're even doing what's up top here. So you're just trying to bring more balance into your life, into other people's life, because of the things that have happened to you. Okay, when we pull clarification cards on this Emperor, we get the Emperor, and we get the King of Wands, which is actually, the King of Wands is actually, I think he's a Leo. King of Wands, he's a Leo, but he's still fire sign, okay? Some readers just call all wands fires, and I used to, and I probably still will from time to time. So let's just break this down, though. Okay, so here on the Emperor, who's the husband, father, or somebody in your life who's got this kind of authoritative energy, for this particular reading, it kind of feels like your energy, what you've been implementing, or what needs to be implemented in order for you to be successful, okay? Maybe this process for you has been a kind of a climb for you, like getting to this energy, or maybe even confronting people with this kind of very serious, because look at the Emperor. Oh, I got some stuff on my cards, because look at this Emperor, okay? he is not fucking playing around, right? He looks kind of stern. He looks like you don't want to get on his bad side, right? Red, orange, and yellow is the main colors of the card. It makes you think of fire and volcano and heat. Okay, so and he's very regal, right? So perhaps for you, it's been a process for you to step into this energy, because here we have the Moon card, followed by the Emperor, followed by the King of Wands. So it was maybe confronting that part of yourself, or confronting people like this, was a bit of a stretch for you at first, but you've really come through. Or you have used this authoritative side of yourself, this strategic side of yourself, this go-getter side of yourself as a means to work through some of your depression or some of your sadness. You shed some light in some senses on this part of yourself. You brought it out into the light. You strengthened it somehow through what you're going through here. And you're gonna, like, a lot of this is like, I mean, you get the Emperor on the Emperor, and then you get the King of Wands on the Emperor, which is fire. So it's just like a lot of energy, a lot of passion that you really had to move through to get to where you're at. Pulling cards on the center position, the Chariot. So the Chariot is a successful card, successful movement forward. We also say karma's course. So we think of, you know, you're on the back of a horse, or you're in a chariot, and the horse is pulling you, and the horse is running, right? So it just, yes, like this excitement and this energy that you're moving into. But it hasn't been easy. Okay. It hasn't been easy. We get the Empress, who is the wife and the mother. So we also have the Emperor up top. So clarification cards on this Chariot is the Empress is the first card out. She's said to be pregnant. She's about creation. She's about creating, right? She's about birthing or conception. She's about fertility and abundance. So this may not be physical, you know, becoming pregnant with a child, but there's something that you have really worked through and created with what you're going through. On the other side of this Empress, we get another major arcana. Empress is a major, but also the Devil is a major as well. Devil is ruled by Capricorn. Okay, so look at kind of like this polarity that's happening here. So here we have the wife and the mother. She is intuitive, and she enjoys life, and she is creative, and she's nurturing, and she's kind, and she's soft, and she loves love, and she's ushy gushy ooey gooey. Okay, on the other side of her here we have this Devil, who is all about addiction, fear. He's all about, hold on, thumbnail. This might be a good thumbnail. You'll see. Okay. All right. Just had to get that in there real quick. So they're just super different, right? In between them comes the Ace of Swords, which brings clarity about whatever this angst was for you in creating or moving through what you're moving through, right? Maybe there have been some addictive patterns or procrastinations or some things that you delved into and spent maybe too much time in that hindered in the past, hindered your process to move forward. Maybe that's kind of what you're grappling with now, that you're doing well, but you're maybe feeling a sense of like, uh-oh, do I feel myself slipping back? Okay, but we have the Epiphany here in the center, the Ace of Swords, which brings clarity and balance to these parts of us. Remember, eliminating the darkness is not really conducive to the human process. We are not full spirit, right? We're not in heaven. We're not completely with God. We're in the humanly realm. So it's important to pay attention to and work with the dark side in a productive way and acknowledge it and pay homage for the things it's taught you. No, we may not necessarily want to spend too much time there anymore because maybe we were there for a long time, or maybe we really didn't like how we felt here. But it's important to at least pay it the reverence that it deserves for getting us to where we are today. This is the Ace of Swords, kind of having an epiphany about these two parts of us and how they've come together to put me where I am now. Okay, pulling clarification cards on the Ace of Cups. Okay, cool. Ace of Cups is fill the cup to overflowing, lots of abundance, right? Water is overflowing in this chalice. I have so much love. I don't even know what to do with all of it, okay? We get the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. So on this journey of discovering and becoming more empowered and really going through processes that feel hard, but doing it with a lot of conviction, you've had to make lots of choices that felt for you as though they were maybe new choices that would lead you to more abundance, okay? So part of the reason why you will be successful and why you're on this trajectory is you've made many micro choices that maybe at the time felt tiny to you, but have made a major impact and is helping you break patterns and break habits. Okay, so you're doing the motherfucking damn thing. Let's pull some clarification cards on this Hangman. Hangman is waiting. Hangman is, well, he comes up right here, so it's good. Hangman means we're surrendering to the process of the unknown. The Hangman means that we're investigating, perhaps, and dabbling a little bit in what it means to feel like I'm not going anywhere. It's a very reverent way of confronting periods of our life that feel stagnant, okay? The Hangman. When I pull clarification cards on him, we get the Tower, okay? We get the Tower with the Ace of Cups with the Temperance card. The Temperance card is ruled by Sagittarius. The Temperance card is like the phoenix rising from the ashes, okay? The Temperance card is about alchemy. So if you're in a position right now where you're having a hard time waiting for something, or you're feeling impatient, or you're feeling as though you're a little bit stagnant, this is here to teach you about how to look at that differently. This period is here to help you deconstruct and reconstruct how you feel fulfilled, okay? Your center card is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups came out for you guys twice. So abundance, love, joy, intuition, flow, receptivity, femininity are all kind of key words for the Ace of Cups, is what you're going through and what's being strengthened right now. You are alchemizing, and transitioning painful things or things you used to deem as painful and turning them into strengths. You are taking challenges and turning them into miracles. Okay, so that's what these cards are telling me here. There's a complete reconstruction, deconstruction of how you used to do things. On the bottom of the first deck, like I said, we have the Hermit. Okay, he's a teacher. He's incredibly wise. He leads through example. People notice him, even though he's the quietest one in the room. Okay, so he is the one to be. Okay, on the bottom of the other deck, we have Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles, again, if you look at the Hermit, this is clearly a nighttime scene. He needs his lantern to see his way. The Three of Pentacles, even though this is a different deck, but traditionally it's got a black backdrop. There's lots of black in it. And it's a Pentacle card, which is different for Pentacles, because Pentacles usually come in yellow. Like, we don't have, okay, we don't really have any of the traditional.
Could you say that again?
Nah, girl, I need to deactivate you. Okay. So we get the sense of mystery, okay? So the Hermit, by going within, leading by example, and just moving forward, even if it's slow, will be the key to you unveiling what's to be unveiled, what's to be seen at the end of this process. Three of Pentacles is mysterious. Three of Pentacles is about unveiling, okay? And is about moving through a trusting process where we don't know everything up front, and where it's our job to just uncover what there is, the gifts to be seen. It's also a 3. It's very stable. We're looking at foundations. You're being very thorough. Okay, Taurus, I love you guys. Please remember to hit that like button, share if you can, leave a comment if you can. All of these things help my channel grow. I really greatly appreciate it. happy motherfucking Tuesday for me. All right, thanks guys. I love you. Hey Gemini, hey babe, how you doing? Happy motherfucking Tuesday. It's Tuesday for me. This is gonna be for Gemini sun, moon, or rising for April 2022. Please remember to hit that like button. I'll wait for you, boo. I'll wait for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Also dropping a heart, leaving a comment. All of these things help my channel grow. Subscribing, of course, and sharing if you can. Thank you for being here. Remember, down below in the description, you can find links to book a private reading, as well as links to shop at my crystal shop, as well as a link to my Instagram page, where I do many other free readings. There are also links to Venmo and PayPal, where you can shoot your girl a little tippy tip if you feel the urge to do so. Let's get into your motherfucking reading, Gemini. I've already pre-shuffled the deck so that we can get right into it and we can get straight to reading. Wow. Okay, let me go ahead and set my timer. Okay, 15 minutes on the clock. So we have 3 court cards. We have 2 queens and 1 king. Okay. Let me take a second. We may be taking some time to kind of address or look at some of our addictions or addictions / anything that would derail us, or anything that we deem dark, anything that we deem stressful, a pain, anything that we deem I don't want it, anything we would, or also those parts of ourselves that we do delve into, but we feel maybe a little bit of like as though we shame around it, some sort of shame around doing these things. Okay, so your center card here is the Queen of Swords. Sorry, lots of shit going on up here. Center card is Queen of Swords. Okay, she's upright. This is air sign energy, Gemini. She's facing the devil, who's reversed. Okay, so it's interesting. We have this strong queen here in the center of the spread facing the devil, and on the other side of the devil, okay, these are the last 3 cards in your spread. I'll talk about the beginning in a second. See how she's facing this devil. The devil being the obstacle, being the fear, being the addiction, being the habits that we're trying to kick. And on the other side, once she moves through these fears, is the Queen of Wands, who's traditionally fire sign, but this is your reading. So it feels like, for some of you guys, you're addressing things within your family systems, but for others of you, you're addressing your own shit. And the queen on the other side is also a part of you, kind of persevering or powering through some of these things that would bring you down. The devil could also represent, for some of us, depression and things like that, and the inability to get going on the things that we need to get going on. Okay, let's talk about the first. Oh, whoa, you have 4 court cards. I pulled you 5 cards, and out of 5, 4 of them are people. So you got a lot of people in the mix. This could be different aspects of yourself. You'll know what this is. For some of us, this might have to do with relationships we find ourselves in that maybe bring us to a point in our lives that we begin to feel kind of shameful of. This reminds me kind of like the story of, and this has been my story some time ago, years back, thank God. But the point is that I get it. This is the story of the woman who gets into a relationship, and then the relationship kind of consumes her. And maybe you're taking a moment to recognize or to remember these parts of yourself, whether you're being consumed right now, or this is part of your past. You're kind of reflecting on this and trying to get really focused so you can move forward. Okay. First 2 cards out, we have a reverse Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, when he comes reverse, this is immaturity. Okay. It makes me think, because the first 2 cards are both pentacles. Okay. Both of these cards are male earth sign cards. So it's almost as though you began something with somebody who this represents. King of Pentacles could be somebody earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. If the person you're dealing with is not Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, he just represents a male energy in your life that at one time, maybe now, maybe in the past, you looked at him as though he was a provider. This is somebody who could be an entrepreneur, somebody who's really good with money, somebody who's really physically fit. This could be somebody who's in really great health. They just generally, they feel like you're drawn to them. They're handsome, they're attractive to you. But because we start with the reverse Page of Pentacles, it's almost as though you have taken a look. Maybe at first you weren't fucking with them, and you're kind of considering what it would be like to deal with them again, or you know, they could even be kind of a representation of maybe some relationships you've been through in the past. And you're kind of taking a look and getting more focused. I think that this relationship for you represents some fear, this situation. And if it's not a relationship, it could be, you know, issues with money, feeling secure materially. Pentacles, 2 male court card, pentacle cards, doesn't mean it has to be a dude or a woman even, but it could represent issues with money, our finances. It could represent issues with our careers, with our body and our health. Okay, so there's just something, these two pentacle cards here in the first two on the left, they're kind of telling a story of like what they represent was something that came from the past that initiated some kind of worry, doubt, or fear within you. Being scared to plant there, being scared to really go there, being scared to date this person, being scared to start that job, being fearful to make that investment there. Okay, so Queen of Swords comes in the center to like really get focused and clear so that you can really understand what you're working with. And you're taking some time to look at your fears. You want to be this Queen of Wands, who's the last card out. The Queen of Wands is this queen. She's a bad bitch. Okay, with all due respect, she is a go-getter. She's kind of independent. She likes her space. She's a little bit of a temper. You know, she's kind of fiery. She's the type of broad that men or women, whoever's attracted to her, looks at her and be like, it's almost like that forbidden fruit. She's a little bit kind of a little bit scared. You know, you kind of give off the energy of nobody's gonna fuck with me, right? Which can be kind of intimidating for some people, which maybe you like. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have 3 of Swords. So this really is kind of a story about, you know, you recognizing and paying attention to things that come up in your life that challenge how you feel, right? And being hurt in the past. Let's pull some clarification cards. Yes, we got, ooh, Devil came out again, friends. Devil came out again. So Devil comes out again for the Page of Pentacles reverse. Page of Pentacles reverse is, I'm not going to plant my seed there. Page of Pentacles reverse could be also people or issues that are negligent with money, or that are not, don't appreciate or respect their possessions. Maybe this is a part of you, an aspect of you from the past. When I pull clarification cards on him, we get the reverse world, we get the Devil, and then we get the Chariot, which is ruled by Cancer. So this lets me know that what you're confronting at this time, these darker parts of yourself, you're wrapping up old cycles. So you really are kind of doing some healing work that originated from the past, and you're doing really well. Okay, very successful. Okay, so it's good that you're looking at these, the dark parts of yourself. It's good. I was saying in the last reading for Taurus, I was saying the point of being a human being is not to eliminate the darkness. Like, we all have the shadow side, and we wouldn't have been born without having positive and negative, right? The masculine, the feminine, whatever you want to call it, shadow, the light. So it's really good that you're facing this part of yourself. Okay, it does feel like you're completing karmic cycles, which is amazing. When I pull cards on the King of Pentacles, which could be somebody earth sign, or he could represent part of you that wants to be very wealthy or abundant or an entrepreneur. He could represent somebody from the past that you're kind of, you know, thinking about and contemplating on. He could just be a symbol for the parts of you that you want, but maybe you don't let yourself have, or there's something there about this King of Pentacles. When I pull clarification cards, that we're bringing more balance to, okay? In the past, what he represented for you made you feel stuck, somehow in a bind, somehow unable to move. The theme of what the King of Pentacles represents to you, whether or not he's a person or a lover or a family member, or he represents materials, whether he represents your money, your career. There's something about what he represents that in the past has made you feel stuck, trapped, it's more of like a, it could be physical trapping, but it more feels like it was in your mind and you were unable to conquer it. First card coming out for the clarifications is Six of Pentacles, which is ruled by Libra. Just means that we're bringing balance to those areas of our life. The last card out is the Ace of Swords. So really clearing that shit out, right? Look how they came. It was Six of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Here's our trapping. And then cutting those cords and cutting that mental attachment to what this represented to us and why it held us back, okay? Or why it brought fear, why it initiated fear of some sort. Pulling cards on the Queen of Swords, of course, we get the Justice card in the center. More air sign. Also, she's ruled by Libra, right? So your fellow air sign. We get Eight of Cups is the first card out for Queen of Swords. Remember, Queen of Swords is direct as fuck, okay? She doesn't fucking play around. She's gonna tell it like it is, but she is gonna do it in a manner, well, just depending on her mood. She's gonna do it in a way that's articulate and mindful as well. But she's very focused here, and she's staring through this devil, trying to get to that Queen of Wands, okay? So she is on a mission. When we pull clarification cards on here, on her, we get Eight of Cups, which is a kind of a surrendering and a leaving something that used to fulfill her, okay? So this, to me, is talking about the process of healing that you're going through at this time, where you're leaving some of that baggage behind. Okay, center card is the Justice card, ruled by Libra, bringing balance. And then we get the Knight of Swords, who's also air sign energy. So for this reading, I'm gonna call Knight of Swords positive. I know I'm biased just because of shit I've been through in my past. The Knight of Swords had always come up to represent an individual who was really volatile with me. But let's just bring it back a sec and get out of my own shit. Knight of Swords is an air sign knight. He is the most, out of all the knights, he's the quickest. He's the most helpful. Well, he gets there quicker. So maybe not the most helpful, but like he's gonna get there before all the other knights. Okay, so he's really, but the thing about the Knight of Swords is he can kind of like, you know, he's moving too quick. But here he is, he's upright. So it makes me feel like the masculine parts of yourself that's coming in to really get you and to really help you and to really make this work and to really help you stay focused and to really just bring the help or the support that you need. I just would say, don't be too concerned with how fast you get there. It's about being thorough. So I just would say that with him showing up there in the center. Okay, but you are balancing things out. Holy shit, lots of synchronicities for your guys' reading and lots of repeat cards. When I pull clarification cards on this devil, who is ruled by Capricorn, but remember the devil for this reading is like, this queen is she's facing this devil. She's trying to get to the other side. She's trying to get through the devil. She's trying to get through her addiction. She's trying to get through her fears. She's trying to get through the shame so that she can reach the Queen of Wands. Okay, so when I pull clarification cards on this reverse devil, we get the Queen of Swords, who is your center card here, right? So look at these links that are happening here. Queen of Swords is air sign energy. Queen of Swords is focused on these fears. She is really like bitch, you're handling your fucking business. You're confronting shit like no other. And it's not easy. Look what you get. You get 7 of Swords and 5 of Wands that come with this Devil card. So it's a battle. And the parts of you, your mind, your fears, the old habitual way, it's gonna come up and it's gonna tell you you ain't shit. It's gonna tell you you can't do it. It's gonna give you a number of lists of things to make sure you don't get it done. But you're like, you know what, motherfucker, I wish you would. I wish you would. You're just very focused and moving forward. You know that this is an obstacle. You know that if you sit here too long, you will get caught up in the drama. So this is you handling your motherfucking business, staying strong and focused, okay? Clarification cards on the Queen of Wands. Oh my God. Yes, please. May I have another? Okay. So on the Queen of Wands, the last clarification card is the Tower, wrapping us up quite nicely, letting us know, and the 2 that come before it are 2 beautiful Pentacle cards. So for some of you guys, this is about a guy, possibly Earth sign, or possibly a guy that is really good with his money. For others of you, this is a metaphor. This reading is a metaphor for your coinage, your worth, you know, the things you go for, your careers, and your bag, okay? And it's completely being reconstructed, deconstructed, right? The Tower is the last card out. So you are stepping into this powerful ass motherfucking energy. You've worked through some of these addictions. Not that they won't come back up. They always will, right? But you're really facing and confronting them, becoming very powerful and landing on top, okay? You're finding yourself through this process. You will find yourself in a position to be able to really look at what you have. You're building a legacy for yourself, but not without many fires or disasters through this process, right? That you've had to go through, that you've had to endure. You've had to really reconstruct everything, your relationship to money, your fears with money, money / whatever the pentacles mean for you, the guy, the woman, the job, the body issues, the health issues, feeling worthy enough, okay? Fears with ... okay? You've really worked through them. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the first deck, you had the 3 of Swords, right? I talked about this. So really working with heartache in regards to whatever these pentacles mean for you. And at the bottom of this deck, we get 2 of Swords. You get the 3 and the 2 of Swords. So with this process, is requiring for you to make choices. Each choice that you make is building up for the whole, right? So even though you think this might be a little choice, like what might feel like a little choice, I'm waking up, I sense that I feel depressed, and before I decide to get up, I'm gonna repeat some mantras to myself and really trying to infuse myself with something positive. That's just an example. So you've had many opportunities, will have many opportunities, are having many opportunities to make choices that would move you through the pain or move you through feeling stagnant, okay? And that's the advice for the bottoms of the decks. Is if you're not doing that, do that. For some of you guys, you have really been doing that, okay? And maybe for quite a large chunk of your life, you have felt stuck or stagnant or tied down because of whatever this heartbreak was for you. Okay, Gemini, I love you guys. Please hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know what you thought. I love you. Please share, comment. All of these things help my channel grow. Bye. Hey, Cancer. Cancer signs, how you doing? Sun, moon, or rising? This is going to be your reading for April 2022. Is that wrong? 2020. Yeah, because I'm combining 2022. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, 2022. So welcome to your reading. Grab a fucking snack, grab some coffee and some water, and enjoy. Please remember to check your moon and rising. Down below in the description, you can find links to book a private reading. You can also find links to shop at my crystal shop that I opened in November. You can also find links to my Instagram page where I do readings on there every week for free. So check out those resources. Let's get into motherfucking reading. I have already shuffled your cards so that we can get right into it. So let's see, Cancer, what's going on for April. 2 twos. So lots of choices and decisions to be made that are gonna require you to be still. You're being called to invoke the High Priestess energy. The High Priestess shows up at the bottom of the deck, so sometimes the bottom of the deck for me can explain the energies that would be very important to implement. Sometimes the bottom of the deck for me can talk about what's hidden or what's hard for you to see, or maybe the parts of you that you don't see. So invoking the High Priestess energy would be super important right now, especially if there are a lot of micro decisions, day-to-day, daily things to choose where you feel maybe stuck or in a bind. Okay, so the first card out is Two of Wands. Two of Wands is in this reading feels a healthy dose of detachment from whatever is going on in your life. Almost a turning my back on parts of this situation that feels healthy, a healthy distraction of some sort. The Two of Wands traditionally does talk about feeling empowered and having decisions to make moving forward that can help alter your life. It shows that you're being supported. It also shows that it's going to be important for the month of April not to rush through anything. Don't just slap anything together. Be very, very thorough. You may have been feeling kind of at a crossroads or stuck or stagnant. There may be some decisions that, if you made, would lead you toward feeling very fulfilled and empowered. But for some reason, as soon as we move from the Two of Wands, we move into the reverse Two of Swords. Oh, you have 2, 2, 2. The Two of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the High Priestess is also a 2. So angel number 222. Where's my book? Do I have it? Ooh, it's right here. So 2s we know are the numbers of creation. 2s are about choices, decisions, travel, movement, changing direction. 2s are about polarity. 2s are about balance. Okay, so let's look at the book. 222, trust that everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to, with divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go and have faith. Let go and have faith. Okay, so Two of Swords is our second card out, and it just shows that we're holding on really tight and we're having trouble moving forward with choices. Okay, as we move through the spread, our center card is 10 of Wands. The last 3 cards out are really, really cool. We have 10 of Wands. So showing that you're working really hard. Maybe there's a lot of work ahead of you. That's going to be important, that if you are consistent, diligent, and also try and find some creative, maybe even a passionate way of looking at these changes or these decisions, will help provide a more enjoyable experience, but also will help really build solid foundations. Okay, the 10 of Wands is followed by this 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands is also, they say, it's a very lucky card because it looks like the number 1111. So we have a portal or a doorway or perhaps an opportunity that will bring a lot of abundance. Okay, we finish off with the Ace of Pentacles, which is the divine supporting you financially, physically, materialistically, in your career, in your health, your body endeavors, in family things as well. You'll be supported, but there's some hard work ahead of you. Let's go ahead. I forgot to set my timer. Let's go ahead and pull some clarification cards. Okay, starting off with the Two of Wands. Okay, so with the Two of Wands, I just got a sneaky peek on the bottom of this deck too. These are cool cards. Okay, whatever decisions need to be made, what's going on within the decisions is that you're transmuting, you're alchemizing, you're healing, okay? Not without a period that feels a little bit heavy. There are parts of yourself perhaps that have been hidden or dormant There are parts of yourself in regards to how much love you can feel that you have either not explored or maybe not explored enough, or that still need to be revealed. Okay, so if you're feeling maybe even bogged down by all the decisions that need to be made, or maybe even it's not a bunch of decisions that need to be made, maybe even it's just like one thing you need to do, but you've not been wanting to do it, or you've been feeling overwhelmed by it. They're saying that by confronting these choices, or confronting that decision, or confronting that maybe even inability to make that, or confronting that procrastination about that thing, is going to illuminate parts of yourself that really help you to feel this abundance that I'm reading at the end of this spread. The 10 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So you are taking tough decisions. You're taking the inability to move forward, and those represent opportunities and doorways for you, if you want to see them that way, okay? They're offering you an opportunity to feel and to see yourself differently by making these choices. Okay, let's pull some clarification cards on this. 2 of Swords reverse. Interesting. 2 of Swords reverse. So we had the 2 of Swords reverse, and it's followed by the 10 of Wands, which shows you really fucking doing the work. But there was a stagnant point first, right? When I pulled clarification cards on the 2 of Swords, the first card out is a reverse 10 of Wands, which is the same card as the center card. So in the area, or in the period where you have been feeling stuck, unable to move forward, it really is showing up in the clarification cards that you've been aware that this is ahead of you, that this got to get done. But you were maybe stuck for some time. Maybe you're still stuck there. Maybe you're, or maybe this was in the past. Either way, it was something you knew had to be done. It probably weighed very heavily on you. You knew that once you became unstuck, it would bring a bunch of abundance, but you were maybe concerned about not being able to see the whole picture ahead of you. The last card out of the clarification cards is 3 of Pentacles, which is, you know, in the traditional deck, it's a black backdrop. The pentacles aren't in yellow, which usually pentacles in the tarot look like this. The pentacles in the 3 of Pentacles in the traditional card come in actually kind of a gray cement color. So it just kind of implies that maybe you have been stuck, or were stuck in this inability to move forward, or to get something done, because it's hard for you to see the outcome. You know, it can be hard to be motivated to do something if we don't know what it's going to look like, or that if it's even going to pay off. But here
Sorry, could you say that again?
No,
Sorry,
I'm not talking to you. Sorry, I got to deactivate that. I got this watch for Christmas. Or was it my birthday? Anyway, and so I haven't deactivated Siri. She be listening to shit. I don't like it, but okay. All right, so, but there was some faith that had to be implemented. There's some faith that needs to be activated in making this choice or moving forward with whatever this is, because something great is coming to you, but you're not supposed to know all of the details, okay? Center card, clarification card. So we're looking at clarification cards for the 10 of Wands, which is the hard work, the brunt work, the nitty gritty, but very rewarding card. Center card clarifications for that. We get the Judgment card. So the Judgment Day is it's people rising from the dead. It's this kind of epiphany, this awakening, this coming to terms with, this confronting, this addressing parts of ourself that feel uncomfortable. Okay, you have a tendency to want to move back into the past and kind of do things the old way, but this 10 of Wands is really picking up the energy of you confronting and shedding some light on those parts of yourself, shedding light on those things that are rising from the past, or the things that are coming up that feel uncomfortable, or the memories that come up that feel uncomfortable, or the fears that come up that feel uncomfortable, the Hermit is shedding light on it. The first card out was the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is somebody air sign possibly that's involved with your process, but more so for me, this Knight of Swords is the thoughts that might tempt to derail us and have us thinking, going back to the past position card being this stalemate, being stuck. Okay, so there's some kind of like epiphanies and breakthroughs that you're moving through by doing the work and just taking those steps forward. Okay, pulling clarification cards on the Four of Wands. The High Priestess comes out again, of course, right? She was on the bottom of the deck as well. So when we look at the Four of Wands, Cancer signs, what comes out is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is air sign energy again. So for some of you guys, you either got like rising or your moon, or maybe your sun is air sign or something like that, because she keeps popping up, or you have somebody in your life who's air sign, who's really involved with what you're going through. Okay, so on the Four of Wands, which traditionally Four of Wands is marriage, commitment, ceremony. So for some of you guys, this is about relationship stuff. For others of you, it's the Four of Wands is just metaphors for foundations and building and feeling secure and feeling safe and feeling protected and feeling able to and free to create and expand. Okay, we get the Queen of Wands, who's very focused, followed by the High Priestess, which is about going within, right? She's the solo path. She's about, when we have the Queen of Swords combined with the High Priestess, man, do we have a power dynamic, a power duo for real? Okay, because the Queen of Swords is sharp. She sees clearly, she hears clearly, she speaks clearly, she's articulate, she's not confused, right? She's clear, she's precise, she's focused, she's got a job to do, and she knows how to do it. And you combine her with the High Priestess, who's the inward path, who's intuitive, who's psychic. You're getting clear messages. Okay, so once you've moved through and worked through the stalemate, the Two of Swords back here, we begin to do this work, which provides a really stable foundation and provides opportunities, provides an environment, and provides a mindset that really enables you to be clear and see your path very, very clearly. Three of Wands. He feels very empowered. He's ready to take on the next mission. Okay, so when we pull clarification cards on this Ace of Pentacles is the universe coming and supplying you, providing for you. And this could be unexpected income. This could be just being supported in general by life. This could be great careers. This could be healthy body, healthy family members, healthy family, feeling very worthy, right? Because once we move through this process, we feel royal abundant. Let me take a second though on these, because I'm a little... Maybe in the past, where we placed our... where we put our, what we emphasized or what we put our faith in, there we go, what we put our faith in was misguided. Okay, so we have this Ace of Pentacles, which is a hand giving you something, right? This is gifts, receiving. And on that we get the reverse Hierophant. The Hierophant is about faith. The Hierophant is about authenticity. The Hierophant is also a teacher, you know, life being a teacher, religion or spirituality somehow teaching us. So we may have learned, there's your time, we may have learned some very deep and hard lessons about what we put our faith in. Did we put our faith in material possessions, right? The card on the other side of this clarification are Seven of Cups reverse. So what we're working through, there may have been at the beginning of the process, and still maybe what we're working through, and still maybe what comes up for us is we tend to put too much emphasis or faith in material possessions, our money, and how things look externally. A little bit of greed, a little bit of inauthentic kind of energy in regards to how we manifest. So this is coming up in our last position, the Ace of Pentacles, because it's just kind of tying the story back to the beginning. Because in the beginning of the story, we were getting kind of a fresh approach on the empowerment of choices, and we were detached enough to make a choice and move forward. We were alchemizing and addressing parts of ourselves that we hadn't really noticed before. And the parts of ourselves that were a little bit more unconscious before may have had to do with what we placed our time, effort, energy, or money in, right? Kind of false sense of security, of false prophets, things like that. In the center position of these clarifications, we have the Star card. So here we have this story on the outside, right, of kind of like this greed, false prophets, false sense of security, inauthentic need for this and that, but outgrowing from them is the Star. So we begin to really wake up, and the Star, again, we start our clarifications with the Moon, and we end our clarifications with the Star. The Moon and the Star both being lights in the night sky. They're the luminaries, right? They light the night sky. So kind of bringing us full circle and showing how our path is being illuminated through facing some of this darkness, right? Okay, what's on the bottom of this deck? Aha, that's right. That's why I saw this earlier. And the other luminary, the sun, right? A source of light from the sky. The sun comes on the bottom of this deck with the High Priestess on the bottom of that deck. So we just see that within that process as well, super beneficial to pay attention to like what your body's telling you, what your intuition is telling you. And a lot of success and joy will come to you through being still and not taking action right away, but not getting stuck, but just kind of tapping into that quiet, wise voice that would guide you, right? The quiet, wise voice for some of us, I had to learn, doesn't necessarily come in like a psychic audio, like audible voice, as more of what the quiet, still voice was more of like how I felt, right? You meet somebody at the store and you feel this energetic attraction to them, and you're talking, it's a platonic energetic attraction to them, but you're drawn to them, you want to talk to them, great convo. But then you step away from it and you are falling asleep that night, and you realize like something about that person or that situation rubbed you a little bit the wrong way. It didn't feel good. So that for me is the quiet, still voice. It's kind of like how I feel when I'm away from the situation, when I'm away from the person that always guides me really well. Okay, I love you guys, Cancer signs. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. If you sat and watched through the whole thing, please hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Share if you can. Subscribe, of course. Leave a comment. All of these things help my channel grow. Watch your moon and rising. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I love you. Bye. Hey, what's good, Leo? Happy motherfucking April. Let's get into your reading. I've already pre-shuffled your cards so we can jump right into this. Hope everybody's doing well. Please remember, Leos, to check your moon and rising signs, as they'll give you additional perspectives to what's going on. Please also look down below in the description where you can find a link to book a private reading, as well as a link to shop at my crystal shop that I just opened in November. You can also find a link to my Instagram page. Thank you so much for checking all that out. Instagram, I do many other additional free readings, so check that out for sure. What else? Please hit that like button. I'll wait. It helps my channel grow, as well as leaving a comment, sharing, of course, and of course, subscribing. So thank you guys for being here. Let's get into your reading, Leos, okay? While I was shuffling, while I was getting ready, while I was getting in your energy, ringing my bell, my singing bowl, and clearing the energy from the previous reading, what popped out of the deck was the Fool and the Seven of Swords. Okay, these literally came out while I was shuffling, and here they are again. And I always know, like, it's taken me years to figure out, like, Is that the past person's energy? Is it so? This is definitely your energy while I was setting up for you guys. They did initially come out reversed, and whenever I'm not ready to start the reading and I'm just pre-shuffling and cards pop out, especially if I notice, anyway, I have a system and I put them back upright. But anyway, here they are again. We're going to talk about them in both directions. Let's get into this, okay? So the theme for April for Leos is the Fool card, okay? So this has to do with new beginnings. This has to do with fresh approaches. This has to do with having faith. This has to do with having childlike faith. But you're going to have to keep an eye on this because, like I said, while I was pre-shuffling, these came out reversed. So this could also have to do with being careless and being foolish and being childish. Okay, so we're going to have to be mindful about how we're doing things, especially as it pertains to foundations that we've built and possibly relationships, because we might... What's kind of coming up for me is the kind of a sense of me needing to defend myself, or perhaps it's attacking other people's because we're in defense mode. So it's going to be very important that you kind of keep an eye on that and kind of keep that in check so that you don't do further damage. You understand? Okay, so first card out is Four of Wands. Four of Wands here is about marriage commitment ceremony. That's kind of the brief description, but it's a 4. So we're looking at foundations that we've built. We're looking at foundations that are already in place, perhaps with partners or perhaps with things that started off as happy times. Okay. Second card out, we have Five of Pentacles reversed. So in regards to this, there's a situation going on that feels kind of that feels attacky, that feels I'm in my head way too much, so I'm acting out. It feels vindictive. It feels childish. It feels like victim mentality. Now, this could also be somebody in your life as well. You could be, it's your job as the client, as the listener, as the receiver of the reading to be able to be intelligent enough. That sounds rude, but to be, in tuned, tapped in enough to know who I'm talking about. If I'm saying you, but it's the other person, that's your job to decipher, okay? So don't be getting all mad at me because I said you being vindictive and shady and shit. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it is you. I don't fucking know. Okay, so look at these cards. This is the last 4 that came out. The first one is Four of Wands, so you can get a visual, right? So there's something going on where we're acting out of victim mentality. We think that we can only do it this way, or there's like a bar. Five of Pentacles is a bar. Like you've set a bar for yourself and you can only go that far because it's always been that way. That's how the bar has always been. Our center card is another 5. Okay, 5s we know are the numbers of challenges and change, or being stuck, or being kind of stagnant, a challenging time. 5 of Swords is the energy of me having to look over my shoulder, me not trusting in what's going on, and feeling kind of a sense of like I want to get over on somebody. Maybe like even that I want to take something away from them because they have hurt me. Then we move into the Fool, which is number 0. Okay. The Fool is about a leap of faith and a trusting. Okay. But because initially I saw this reverse, this might be that somebody's acting in a way that's very childish, and foolish. Okay. And taking more than their fair share. Let's pull some clarification cards. I've got those already pre-divvied and shuffled. On the Four of Wands, remember, which I talked about, marriage commitment ceremony, some foundation that was put into place early on. We get the Death card and the Devil, okay? The Death card and the Devil. Death card is ruled by Scorpio. The Devil is ruled by Capricorn. These are both major arcana cards. So it's going to be important to, I think you're going through major transitions, right? You're going through endings, and which are bringing out in either you or the people involved are bringing out like some really fucking shady energy. The Devil is about addictions and fears. The devil is about shame. Okay, the devil comes out in us when we don't feel balanced and well. Okay, so somebody here is acting out because of some breakdown of a relationship or a breakdown of some foundation that started off strong. Okay, the third card, look, you get all three major arcanas on this Four of Wands. So kind of a big part of April is noticing these parts of ourselves and putting them in check, noticing them if it's other people doing it to us, being able to really stand our ground and be that the eye of the storm, and try and be as least reactive as possible. If you have somebody in your life who's very volatile and popping off and doing a lot of shady extra shit, the best way to deal with that is to not engage. It can be really hard because people are threatening maybe our motherhood, our fatherhood, our children, money, things like that. But it's going to be really important that you don't engage and you don't play with them. Okay? All right. So the last major arcana that came out for this Four of Wands is the Hangman. Okay? So at this time, there's a sense of you really sitting in it, sitting in some of this kind of volatile energy. It feels stressful. It feels hard. The thing is like I said, the Hangman, his arms are tied, his foot is tied to the tree, but he has this enlightenment that's happening for him because he's able to remain still and to not react. He can't do anything. His hands are tied. So if you kind of just keep your composure, that will be super useful and helpful. Pulling clarification cards on the Five of Pentacles, which is victim mentality. I've set the bar down here my whole life. It's always been down here, so I don't know anything different. That's Five of Pentacles, okay? When I pull clarification cards on that, we get Nine of Cups, Six of Cups, and the Tower card. So this mentality, this victimhood, this sense of, oh God, it's always going to be like this mentality, there is a wish coming through for you by working on this. There is achievement, heart fulfillment, and blessings coming your way if worked through and faced head on. Your center card is Six of Cups, which is healing. Is also issues with your childhood coming up here. Why you kind of find yourself in this particular situation may be rooted from your childhood, and now it's yours to deal with. Yes, maybe it was given to you by parents, your environment, your upbringing, and okay, you've taken your time to blame other people. Now it's time to move out of that and to put the focus back on self and realize it needs to be healed. The last card out is the Tower card. So this victimhood mentality is being destructed, is being taken down so that you can rebuild it, okay? Let's pull clarification cards on the center card, Five of Swords. Five of Swords is vindictive energy, it's shady energy, it's taking what's yours energy, it's stealing, it's thievery, okay? We get Seven of Pentacles. Look, if this is what you're doing, or what if you feel somebody is doing to you, or even if you feel as though this is the energy of like your thoughts, you're never able to rest because you're always looking over your shoulder, or you're worried that so-and-so is going to do something to you, or you got this sense of paranoia, your mind can't rest, okay? This is coming up, this is happening because life is asking you to try and place more emphasis in self. This almost feels like a deep lesson in accountability, a deep lesson on taking the focus off of other people, even if other people are doing shady things to you, and putting it somehow on yourself. It's almost like an extreme period where even though you're feeling wronged, an extreme period of putting that focus back onto yourself and somehow analyzing or looking at what's happening as a means of healing self and understanding where this rooted from, how you got here, How is it that you've built a life with somebody who can do such things to you? And turning it back inward, back onto me, back onto self. How did I get myself here? What red flags did I overlook? Okay, so we get the Seven of Pentacles, and then we get the King of Pentacles. Both of these guys are on the outside. Pentacles represent money, but in this reading for me, it represents worth, okay? Cultivating my worth and mastering my worth. And the center card is Page of Cups, which is a brand new, beautiful, optimistic beginning of love, self-love, finding love within relationships. But not until we really kind of buckle down and get a hold of like the root of all of this and how it pertains to my worth and how I value myself. Okay, so let's, taking the emphasis off of the thinking, overthinking, not trusting self-thoughts, doubting self-thoughts, and moving it back into the body, moving it back into how I move. What do I do? The physical things I can do to kind of help that. Oh, shit. Girl, we've been in alignment lately. These readings been like repeats. Okay, so I'm pulling clarification cards on the Fool. We get the Fool on the Fool. Okay, so the Fool card, this is about childlike faith, new starts, but also careful not to be too quick to move. Sometimes childish and things like that. Careless can be. We get the Moon card, the King of Cups, and then the Fool comes out on this. Okay, so this is talking about moving into very intentionally into a period that feels heavy, but a very rewarding period. Okay, your center card is King of Cups. King of Cups is somebody water sign, but he represents emotions, mastery of emotions, and mastery of complete fulfillment. Okay, he represents being tapped in, tuned in to my emotions, tapped in, tuned into my downloads and things that I'm feeling intuitive and psychically. Okay, and really facing it head on, taking a leap of faith into that area of yourself. Okay, let's pull some clarification cards on this very last card, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is sneaky. Motherfucker getting away with some shit. He's taking more than his fair share, okay? We get Ten of Pentacles, generational wealth and abundance. Eight of Wands, fast, swift movement forward. Eight of Wands is also about spirit messages, things like that. And it faces the Hermit, which is ruled by Virgo. So, if we're dealing with somebody who's shady and vindictive, and then I pull clarification cards on that, and we get 10 of Pentacles, the peak of Pentacles, which is worth, wealth. They're really trying to take us, again, pulling us out of our brain. Even with this, Swords, we get two really powerful Pentacle cards on either side. Pentacles, taking us out of our head, Swords, and putting us into body, putting us into tactile, materialistic things that we can do to revert, to move our attention away from the overthinking and the shadiness that's going on around us, okay? Same thing here. They're pulling us back down to earth, taking us out of our head and moving us into body and focusing on issues with family, okay? Once we dive into these physical issues and do things for our body, for our health, we make moves on our business. We working on the job, work, submerging into work, and stop getting so caught up in kind of the low vibration that kind of pervades, that kind of takes over, or the person who's kind of dominating our life. Okay, they're asking us to turn our attention away from that, away from issues with the head that overwhelm us, that make it hard for us to focus, and to go within, move into the body. Things will begin picking up, and we'll attain great wisdom by doing so, okay? At the bottoms of the deck, here we have, the first deck is Seven of Wands reverse. So Seven of Wands is, defense mode. The bottom of the second deck, we have the Knight of Wands, which is fire sign energy, okay? So there's a sense that, like I kind of said in the beginning, you feel a strong need to defend yourself or defend your family or defend what's right or defend what's yours, which is coming from a very, vigilant, this is a, not vigilant, valiant, like it's coming from a space of like you're meaning to do well. You mean well, but it's almost hyper, it's too much, it's overdone, right? And then the Knight of Wands could be partially having to do with why you're feeling that way. That could be the person whose energy is kind of coming in and intruding, but also could be parts of yourself who means well, right? The Knight of Wands is a fire sign energy. He's coming in to defend his territory, but it's a little bit too much, okay? Or it's a misplaced, or we're putting too much emphasis on defending. And we need to stop defending and just be still, like this hermit, okay? Okay, so the theme for April, that's going to be it, Leos. Please hit that like button. Helps my channel grow. Watch your moon and rising signs as well. The theme for April is the Fool. Okay, it was the main major arcana that came out in the first. This is new starts, fresh approaches, keeping an eye on being careless and being childish and doing things different. Okay, that's your theme for April, Leo. I love you guys. Please share my shit. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey, Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. Welcome to your April 2022 tarot scope. I hope you enjoy. Please remember to check your moon and rising signs as they give additional perspectives, as well as down below in the description, you can find links to my crystal shop, which I launched in November. So if you want to browse some crystals, go ahead and check that out, as well as a link to my Instagram page where I do additional readings for free. And you can also find a link to book a private reading if you're looking to do so as well. Okay, guys, let's get into this Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. I've already pre-shuffled the deck so that we can get right into it. So let's go, Virgo. Okay, so cool. So kind of the theme for Virgo for April is there are new starts available with issues that pertain either to your wife or your mother, or new starts available with those parts of yourself that represent creativity. So if you're trying to build something, if you're trying to grow something, if you're trying to achieve, create something, if you're trying to manifest something, we're seeing fresh approaches that would be beneficial, brand new starts, leaps of faith, childlike faith moving into those. Okay, so our first card out, that's the theme for April, okay? The first card out is Five of Wands. Five of Wands is kind of a conflicting energy. Five of Wands is conflict, chaos, and strife. This is a lot of people got their hands in the pot, all trying to do the same thing, but not seeing any results. It could be more intense. This could be arguing, fighting, quarreling, bumping heads, and things like that. So if you're coming up against a lot of conflict and not seeing eye to eye with other people, they're asking you to get a fresh approach. I will pull clarification cards as well, so we can kind of get a better kind of idea of what this means. Our second card out is the Fool card. So our Fool is childlike faith, about to take a leap of faith. Okay, so this is a major arcana as well. So for the month of April, there's going to be a fresh start here. There's going to be some new beginning. There's going to be some anticipation of taking that leap. Center card is the Empress, who we said is the wife and the mother, but she just represents creativity. Okay, she could, for some of you guys, represent pregnancy. Literally in the card, they say she's pregnant here. So, but she's just about abundance, fertility, birthing something, conceiving something, in that way. Okay. Our fourth card out here, there might be issues coming up with somebody. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles here comes reverse. He's our earth sign knight. This could be parts of you as well. The Knight of Pentacles reverse shows that there has been somebody or some situation that we invested in, or that we thought we could invest in, or that we thought we could. This could also be issues with career, money, finance, that we're feeling a little bit uneasy about. The last card out is Four of Pentacles, which is a very safe card. Four of Pentacles shows that all will be well, especially as things pertain to money, finances, or wealth, worth, or health or body. So I'm wondering, there might be some kind of well, let's pull some clarification cards, because at first glance you see a reverse Knight of Pentacles and you don't feel like it's, oh, that's not great. You feel like that's not great. You know, you want to see him upright. But because we finish off with the Four of Pentacles, it kind of makes me feel a little bit more safe with him. It's as though we may have kind of prejudged or called something bad too quickly. So let's see though. Clarification cards for the Five of Wands, which remember is conflict, arguing, quarreling, strife, and things like that. The first card out is the World reverse. The third card out is the Star card. So both of these are major arcana. There's a cycle or a pattern happening here that needs to be closed. And I think what it's going to take is for us remembering our worth and remembering how abundant we actually are. Finding those little things throughout our day to really place our emphasis in and to be grateful for. Those things about ourselves to help pull us out of this, because we're greeting this. We're meeting this halfway. This can't pervasive. This can't bombard your life. This Five of Wands can't bombard your life without you being a co-contributor, okay? Somehow, you know, answering the call, responding to the message, calling them names back, whatnot, right? So the Five of Wands, when we pull clarification cards, we get the World card reversed, not completing cycles in regards to our worth, our wealth, our abundance, okay? And then getting back to basics, the Star card, which is ruled by Aquarius, just information, take it or leave it. Getting back to basics and being more in touch with our vulnerability. Some of us might be kind of hardened by life. And so when conflict arises, we're quick to respond. We're quick to defend, which is kind of normal. But the cards are asking us to engage less and engage more in things that we can do that pour into self. More focus on self instead of being so worried about what everybody else got to say about you or whatnot. Okay? When I pull clarification cards on this Fool card, right? Fool card is a fresh start, a leap of faith, right? Childlike faith. I'm going for it. I know there's a new beginning. And then we get the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is similar energy. It's the person, it's the student who is aware that there's something, some new endeavor that they want to be a part of. There could be new forms of communication taking place, whether that be how you're talking to other people or whether how it be how you hear what other people are saying to you. You're having epiphanies and revelations and breakthroughs once you take this leap of faith and turn away from the chaos that will provide much more love and abundance in your life. The Page of Swords is starting a new endeavor, okay? He's focused. He's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about the future. He is aware that ahead of him, he has some work to do, but the end goal for this Page of Swords is finding love or to find harmony. You're not going to get to the harmony or the loving relationship until you address some of these things that feel uncomfortable. Maybe you're in a relationship that you're questioning being a part of because this person brings up things that you wish to deny. Or this person, remember, and roles could be reversed. It's up to you to decipher. I can't do that for you. This person could be bringing up and mirroring to you. Maybe they're even behaving in a way that actually, if you think about it, is much like how you used to be, or is something about, there's something about the way that they're mirroring that it goes against what you believe in. Remember, the opposite of who we are or who we think we are as human beings is still a part of you. Okay, we're all from the same place. So when you see something in other people that makes you cringe or that makes you want to get away from it, it's a calling for us to take a look at ourselves in a different way. It's just a different perspective of the whole. So it's going to be important that you start anew and you kind of have fresh eyes about what this situation is trying to tell you, and the stuff that it's bringing up to the surface for you is important to notice, because once we address these, we see this with fresh eyes, we communicate these with fresh ears, and communicate these with a fresh mouth, then we're able to work through it and then get to this card. The Lover's card shows up, which is like the honeymoon phase and joy and bliss and feeling abundant. Okay, pulling clarification cards on this Empress. Remember the Empress, she's called the wife and the mother, but I said she represents creativity and abundance and fertility. She also represents within me, or you, the receiver of the reading, she represents the softer, feminine, divine feminine, receptive stuff. So if you're somebody, especially if you're a female, and you tend to address conflict with like more conflict, the cards are asking us to soften up and try being a little bit more vulnerable. When I say be more vulnerable, it doesn't mean put yourself in the line of fire of these people who are causing chaos and to be a target, but it means making a choice about disengaging and allowing yourself to recognize that the behaviors of the other people, or the behaviors maybe even that you have shown in the past, you kind of just sitting with that and letting yourself feel what you need to feel around that, softening up around the old patterns or the patterns that other people have, letting yourself actually feel it instead of being so defensive outwardly. Disengaging from being defensive, but inwardly to yourself, not having to share with anybody, letting yourself feel and soften up around it, and letting yourself feel hurt if what was said or even your actions have hurt you in the past or hurt other people. Okay, the Empress, when we pull clarification cards, we get the Two of Swords. So it's about choices at this time for the month of April. You're making choices, you're getting going. You are leaving a time of feeling stuck or stagnant, and you're beginning to build. Okay, the Two of Swords is stagnant. Okay, and then we move into the Ten of Pentacles, which is generational wealth and abundance. Okay, kicking into action, kicking into high gear, and really getting moving on this part of your life. This part of your life being the softer, intuitive, fertile side of yourself, knowing that you can create or produce anything you would like to produce. Okay, when we pull clarification cards on this Knight of Pentacles, who's reversed, are you trying to make somebody be something that they're not? Is somebody trying to make you be somebody that you're not? As somebody's actions providing the opportunity for you to act in a way that you don't want to be? Okay, I went down a tangent. When I pull clarification cards on the Knight of Pentacles reverse, remember this is Earth sign energy, or this is more metaphoric for the things we invested in that we're questioning. Okay, we get Seven of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the King of Wands. So underneath this reverse Knight, we were kind of upgraded with this King of Wands. King of Wands is fire sign. Ace of Wands is also action and moving and making it happen and manifesting. I'm wondering if you're expecting things from somebody or from some situation that has shown you that they can't follow through, or they can't complete, or they can't ... and you're somehow have invested in them and have tried to make them something that they're not. What you really want is somebody who shows a lot of passion. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who has been maybe a little bit boring or less than exciting, and so what you're trying to make them be, or maybe there's someone on the side that you're even dealing with that has more passion, and you're trying to figure that shit out. Just be really clear with what you want and what you need, though, as well. You could be even overlooking something within this Knight of Pentacles reverse, that the qualities that they have that maybe you haven't seen before that bring about more passion. Okay, let's pull clarification cards on this Four of Pentacles. We get the fucking Fool again. Crazy. All right. So this does feel like relationships or partnerships of some sort. When I pull clarification cards on the Four of Pentacles, which is you're safe, we get the Three of Swords. So there's some sense of like not trusting in someone in our life, or not trusting in a situation that we're starting fresh on. Okay. There's some sense of disappointment or in something or someone that we're coming to terms with, and we're starting brand new. We may be actually beginning to see that we're safe, either with this person, or maybe even we're safe alone. And that that's where our new start is on a solo journey for some of us. Okay. Some of us are really coming to terms with like, what does safety mean? Physical safety, as well as like emotional safety, and learning from our past mistakes. On the bottoms of the decks, we have the Ace of Cups, which is about heart fulfillment, which is about intuition, is about how much love or abundance can we feel. And then at the bottom of the other deck, we have Two of Cups, which is soulmate relationships and healthy partnerships. So we're just taking a look at the conflict in our lives, the conflict with other people, where it comes from, how it needs to be dealt with, whether disengaging from it or diving further into myself and the things that I can do for self materially, maybe in my career, or just physical projects around the house, or physical projects that I can engage in that help bring more stability and worth and more passion in my life. Okay. We're taking a look at partners and what they can provide for us. Do I need them to even provide for me, or can I do this alone? We're also looking at the passion that they can provide for us, or perhaps the passion that they're not providing for us. There's your time. Okay, friends. So the theme for April for Virgo are the Fool and the Empress. Okay. So feeling like I am completely fulfilled within myself, as like a radical way of self-acceptance, radical self-acceptance, radical self-love. The Fool is radical. Self-love is the Empress. Okay. All right, you guys, if you haven't already hit that like button, please do so. It helps my channel grow, along with leaving a comment, dropping a heart, something simple like that. Sharing and subscribing. All of this helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. Please remember as well to watch your moon and rising sign readings. Send it to your friends, send it to a coworker, send it to a loved one. I love you. Send it to your dude, your lady. All right, y'all. Love you. Bye. Libra, it's your time, boo. It's your time. Let's get into your motherfucking reading. Before we get started, please remember to check your moon and rising sign readings for additional perspectives. If you don't know your moon and rising signs, you can go to Google and say, what are my moon and rising signs? They'll have you enter your birth date, I believe your birth time, possibly the location of birth, and boom, you got your moon and rising. Some of us, like myself, don't necessarily know time of birth. They say to use 12. That can take some time. You can message me privately if you'd like to get some more tips on how to kind of resurrect your birth time. Working with a psychic is the best way. I cannot help you with that. Okay, I went off on a tangent. Also, down below in the description box, you can find links to private booking. You can also find links to my crystal shop, which I started in November. You can also find links to my Instagram page, where I do additional readings for free, and I also offer additional readings that aren't posted on my website to book private readings. So I do these 22 readings once a month on Instagram that are only available on Instagram. So go ahead and check that stuff out. Please hit that like button. I'll wait for you, friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. It helps my channel grow, as well as leaving a comment, subscribing, of course, and sharing these readings is super helpful for the growth of my channel. Thank you. Let's get into your reading. I already pre-shuffled the cards so we can get right into it, Libra. Set a timer here. All right, so first card out is we got King of Cups. King of Cups could be somebody water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. King of Cups could also just be a metaphor for issues with love or finding a mate that's very emotionally fulfilled within himself. Therefore, you two coming together and creating a really lovely bond. Okay, so he's just the first card. We have King of Cups, mastery of emotions, mastery of self-love, mastery of love, experiencing the fullness of love, experiencing the fullness of life. Okay, King of Cups is followed by Four of Pentacles, which is safety. Okay, so there's this issue going on here, this lovely kind of picture here with somebody male, okay, or if it's not a male or if it's not a person, King of Cups just can indicate that we are finding parts of ourselves, uncovering or noticing parts of ourselves as it pertains to our emotions and our heart fulfillment, and being able to feel safe either with a partner or feel safe with somebody water sign, or feeling safe with love, with feeling safe with my heart, with sharing my heart with other people and feeling safe. Okay, so that's kind of the theme of what it looks like on the left side. Okay, in the center card, we have Five of Wands, which is conflict. So on the right side is another story. So on the left side, we've got this story about this guy, okay? This guy and feeling safe, or what safety means in a relationship, or what safety means with my heart, okay? You pick what it is for you, okay? On the right side of this reading, we've got a totally different story about self, okay? We got the Queen of Pentacles here, who is about mastery of business, entrepreneurship, and mastery also of self-worth, right? The Queen of Pentacles is mastery of self-worth. She's ruled by Capricorn. She got her coinage together, and she's coupled here with the Nine of Cups. Both of these cards are reversed. So there's some kind of imbalance that we're working out, Libras, for the month of April that is requiring you to look at issues with the heart on one side, and the other side, how you're blending that with your worth. Are we trying to create something or find something either with love or with partnership? Are we trying to find our safety in some other situation or some relationship or something that involves my heart? Am I looking for that safety in some situation where in actuality, I don't actually feel even safe within myself to even begin that process? I may be trying to manifest or create something that feels wealthy or worthy, but I haven't quite cultivated within myself. Now, I say I, you, he, she, them, they, whatever. It's your job to decipher if I'm talking about you, if you is actually you or you is actually them. Okay, so that's not my job to do. You got to do it. But there's just this kind of like two-sided thing going on here where I'm placing my emphasis, my material worth, my worth in some wish that's coming from some other place. Okay. Your center card is Five of Wands, which is conflict, which is chaos, which is strife, which is engaging in drama. So there's something in between these two aspects of yourself that isn't in alignment or is incoherent. It doesn't match the rhythm, okay? On the bottom of the deck, we have the Star card. So the Star is ruled by Aquarius, okay? The Star card is about, hold on, let me get adjusted. There's a lot going on here. It's fucking freezing in this house. So the Star card is also about my dreams coming true, manifesting my dreams. The Star card is on the bottom of the deck. So some sense of vulnerability might be hard for you to kind of pay attention to or dive into at this time. Let's go ahead and start pulling clarification cards, okay? So on the King of Cups, which could be somebody water sign, or he could just represent like issues with love or mastering love or feeling great love, okay? When we pull cards on him, we get the Moon card, which is ruled by Pisces, okay? We get the Moon card with 3 of Pentacles and the Fool. So there's some process that we are going through that involves our heart or involves somebody water sign that is putting us through a pretty heavy process. Okay, the Moon card, keywords for the Moon card are the dark night of the soul. Okay, so heavy energy, Pisces energy. This card, the Moon card, feels scary. This card feels stressful. But the upside of the Moon card is that it illuminates things that we maybe wouldn't have seen without all of these stressors, without these things coming to a head. Okay, so the Moon card is illuminating parts of your life that involve somebody water sign or involve a partner or involve somebody who represents great love. Okay, so the Moon card is here to illuminate and shed some light on the issues that you have with this person or what this means for you. The center card is 3 of Pentacles, which further kind of validates. The 3 of Pentacles is like, what's a good... You know those, the coloring, the Crayola thing, they're pens that come with the white pens. They're the pen that you can color it with a color, but then you go over it with the white pen and then you don't see it until you go over it with the white pen. And the white pen like reveals to you what was underneath. Okay, that's the 3 of Pentacles, okay? It's like the sculptor who starts with a slab of marble and he doesn't... Some creators don't really know what they're creating until they begin the process. So the 3 of Pentacles is you moving into some process that feels heavy. And you not knowing what is all going to be entailed with this process, but you move through it anyway because you know that you're creating some foundation for yourself. You know you're creating something stable for yourself. You know you're doing the right thing, even though it feels heavy, it feels hard, it feels overwhelming. Okay, the third card out is the Fool card. So everybody's been getting the Fool today. Everybody's been getting the Fool. So I think that's like a common, just what everybody's going through. There's a lot of fresh starts happening here. You're either getting a fresh start with whoever this represents, King of Cups, or what this represents, but you're starting fresh with issues with the heart, okay? When we pull clarification cards on the 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles is about safety. Ooh, right, kind of what I felt. Okay, so because 4 of Pentacles feels so safe, I knew there was some kind of like, something wasn't fitting here. And when I pull cards, we get 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is exhausted. 3 of Swords is heartbreak. And then we get the reverse Hierophant about... The reverse Hierophant comes out sometimes when we're dealing with people or situations that are not authentic. We're dealing with people who can be manipulative. We're dealing with people who have a false sense of faith. These are people who put their faith into things that have no solid foundation. These are people in situations that would claim to be this but actually aren't. Inauthentic, right? Not in alignment. So there's some kind of... You're going through issues that are having you take a look at, like, how safe do you feel? Maybe actually... physical safety in your home, but also safety in like in who you are, and do you feel good in your skin? Do you feel confident in who you are? Okay, because probably this topic of safety has been tested for you. Okay, so for the month of April, you're diving into this and you're creating something new for yourself that feels stressful, that feels hard, but you're moving through a process that's really important. Center position, we have 5 of Wands. Remember, conflict and strife is our center card. When I pull clarification cards on this, we get the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands is marriage, commitment, ceremony. So you might actually be fighting or in conflict with somebody that you created a foundation with, or there's some angst or pulling on something that you've created, okay, or something that you've built. Our center card is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles comes up for you twice. You got the Queen of Pentacles in your initial spread reverse. So issues with materials, the things, my possessions, there's some sort of mismatch or not alignment with like how you're, it's like trying to fix an internal problem, like anxiety with like bandaging it with like buying something, or bandaging it with like eating, or going and doing something physical to make it right, when actuality the work is inward. That's what reverse Queen of Pentacles is. Okay, when we look at this Five of Wands, which is the center card, Queen of Pentacles comes again upright. So here in this Five of Pentacles, it shows she's balanced. Okay, it shows that there have been revelations and epiphanies that have occurred maybe in her marriage or her relationships or in her commitments, in things that she decided to do and maybe is changing her mind about. Okay, there are things that feel uncomfortable. The Queen of Pentacles comes upright in this position. She's very confident and she knows her worth, and she's facing these issues head on. Not that it's easy, but she's very grounded and rooted in who she is. So what meets the surface is this kind of story about finding love within myself, feeling safe within relationships and feeling safe within myself, and then bandaging it with material possessions or wishes that are like a little bit it's like wishing something to be that it's just, now's not the time for that. Okay, trying to paste something over it, trying to cover it. But as we scratch the surface, what meets the eye is that you're going through a much deeper process that is awakening you to your truest value. Okay, Queen of Pentacles in the center, in regards to whatever commitments you made, in regards to your relationships, in regards to marriages, in regards to foundations that you've laid. Things are coming up to the surface that are making you stronger. Okay, so if it hurts, it feels stressful, if you feel anxiety, you're on the right page. Okay, let's pull some clarification cards about this reverse Queen of Pentacles. We get the Page of Swords. So, in regards to how we use things or external situations to bandage pain, we're having like a fresh take on it. We're beginning to see things different, which is going to bring a lot of success your way. If you're worried about finding a mate, worried about finding a partner or somebody to, you know, to enjoy your life with, he's here. We got somebody fire sign showing up here. The key is that even though it's here, we're not supposed to use these things. Quality shit won't come in band-aids. Quality people, quality circumstances won't come while you're trying to bandage something. So we're just kind of taking a look at how we used to bandage things and how we used to compensate for what was going on inside, how we used to compensate with the physical stuff. So all your goodness is still here for you, but there's a message here about moving too quick, taking and making sure to take your time. The Queen of Pentacles, she here is reversed, but when she comes upright, she shows that she's patient and she's diligent and she's consistent, and that she continuously works on herself, right? So when we scratch the surface, we see that all good things are coming your way once we address these parts of ourselves where we attempt to, you know, cover it up or bandage it. Okay, let's pull clarification cards on this Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. Remember, here it comes reversed though. Okay, Nine of Cups is when it comes reverse, it means in combination with the Queen of Pentacles, it means that oh, I want this thing. It's going to make me feel so much better, right? Those are a combination. When we pull clarification cards on this reverse Nine of Cups, we get the Magician with the Seven of Pentacles with the Tower. So what this kind of tells me is that, again, we're looking at that relationship to wants, that relationship to things that we think we need or things we want or need, and we're reconstructing where we place our value. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles is the center clarification card. Seven of Pentacles is very content, right? He has everything that he needs, so much so that he can stop working for a bit and he can rest and enjoy what he has. So we're taking our placement of external reprieve or external fulfillment during internal situations. We're taking that and we're changing that. The Magician. We are manifesting things that come from within in a much deeper way. The Tower card being the breakdown or the deconstruction or reconstruction of how or what we want and what that looks like and how we get it. Okay, so there's like deep shit going on here. The bottoms of the deck, we have the Star card, like I said, and on the bottom of the second deck, we have the Sun card. Both of the images on these cards are naked. Okay, Star card, this androgynous figure is naked, and this naked baby. So there's some sense of like vulnerability and being able to feel what you need to feel is going to be important. Also, the Star card and the Sun card are called luminaries. They light the sky, right? The stars light the night sky and the sun lights the daytime sky. So there's this sense of like joy, manifesting my dreams once I can become vulnerable and once I can go through these processes, and always remembering to stay in touch with like the true purpose of why you're on your path or what this path is about, the truest purpose, not just a title, a label, a bag, whatever. It's really a deeper process. Once you can really get in touch with the truth of the root of that process, then you'll be better off as well. Whew. Did you guys get any majors in that first one? Oh, your majors were on the bottoms. Okay, the Star card. So for the month of April, the theme is going back to the roots of what it is you want. If you think you want that car, if you think you want that partner, what's at the root of that? It's not just the car, it's not just the partner, because we can work towards something, we get it, and it's really not, we're like, okay, we got it, now what? It's really a deeper yearning. What is that deeper yearning for you? Is it an emotional root? Okay. All right. So please hit that like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. Check the links down below for private readings, Instagram, and also for my crystal shop. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Please share. Bye. Hey, Scorpio. How y'all doing? Happy motherfucking Tuesday. Sal. Thought I heard the dog outside the door. I think she's there, but she's scoping me out. Okay, so this is going to be a reading, Scorpio, for April 2022. Come on, Sal.
Yes. Come on, come get cozy. Come on, come get cozy. Okay, good job.
Off. You know what? Maybe we'll just keep it. All right, you can keep me warm. Okay, Scorpio. All right, so this is going to be a reading for April 2022, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Please remember to check those readings as well, because they offer different perspectives. Down below in the description, let me breathe. You can find the links to my Instagram page where I do additional readings. I also have discounted readings that I only offer on Instagram. So those are there. I also offer down below in the description. I'm not breathing. Hold on. Sometimes I just don't breathe. Like I'll be coming out the gate ready to go, and then I realize I'm not breathing. Also, down below in the description, you can find the link to book a private reading as well as the Grateful Crystal Shop. I just opened up a crystal shop in November, so you can check that out there as well. Let's get into your motherfucking reading, Scorpio. Shall we? How y'all doing? It's cold up in here. You know what I'm saying? Fucking freezing. Wow. It's not freezing, but it's cold for me. Okay, Scorpio, so what's going on here? Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. Lots of air. Wow, lots of air. So I've been noticing that with all the readings, there are a lot of like swords or the major arcana cards are showing up. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are showing up in everybody's reading. So I'm not sure what that's about, but I know that it's meant for us. Air is a symbol for thinking. Air can be a symbol for confusion. You know, air can be a symbol for communication and how we think and how we process information. So we're all kind of just going through themes like that. Okay, let's get into the reading. You have one major arcana. I pulled you 5 cards plus the one on the bottom of the deck. That's a total of 6 cards. There are no majors in the 5 that I pulled you, but there is one major on the bottom of the deck, which is the Lovers. Okay, so which tells me, because out of the 5 that I pulled, because none of these are majors, it means it's all in the details for you guys this month, for April. It's all in crossing your T's and dotting your I's, right? Being very thorough and paying attention to the details. So I've been telling all of the signs, like, your overall theme for the month is this, and I talk about that major arcana. But since you guys didn't really get one here, although you did get one on the bottom, let's talk about the bottom of the deck, shall we? So Scorpios, you guys get the Lovers. The Lovers can talk about a relationship, right? That's kind of the typical meaning behind the Lovers. The Lovers card is also ruled by Gemini. The Lovers card talks about duality and discernment. It's also the honeymoon phase of something you're going through. It's at the bottom of the deck, so it might be harder for you to see. Might be telling us that whatever the 5 cards are about, that beneath the surface of it, once you work through some of this stuff, you'll begin to have some reprieve. You'll begin to kind of see the beauty, or the honeymoon side, or the kind of the more blissful side of things. Sorry, I got an itch back here. Okay. You guys also get 2 male court cards in your 5 card spread. You get the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. The King of Pentacles is somebody earth sign. The King of Swords is somebody air sign. If you don't have those signs in your life, we're just looking at metaphors. We're looking at male energy for one, the King of Pentacles, who's good with money. Okay, this could be also aspects of yourself, even if you're a woman. Okay, this is mastering your coinage, mastering issues with your career, you know, doing really well in your career, doing really well with your money, an abundance of money, an abundance of wealth, worth, and also health and vitality in the body. Okay, King of Swords is mastery of the head, how we think, how we hear, how we speak, how we interpret, how we process information, and how we express that information. Okay, so really good stuff. If this is not a guy in your life, like a good communicator, this represents that you're in a position in your life where it would be very important for you to be very clear, and especially if you're a woman, because this is a male court card, to really embody more of the like masculine way of communicating. Now, what does that fucking mean? It just means embodying a bit more give to how you say something, or more kind of I can see it and I can feel it in my body. There's an assertiveness that comes with the Queen of Swords too, but it's a little bit different with the King. He's more about he's just a little bit more laying down the law, not taking no shit, especially because we end with Seven of Swords. So this is a sneaky kind of energy here. It's going to be important to really express how you feel about whatever this is that's causing you some discontentment or some sense of lack of trust, okay? The first card out, it's interesting now I'm seeing. King of Pentacles is coupled here with this Five of Wands. So there may be issues with what this King of Pentacles represents to you that's causing conflict. Okay, this King of Pentacles, you could be having conflict with this King of Pentacles, or you may be feeling like in issues with business or finances, you're feeling conflicted. This could have to do with like you fighting or defending what you believe in and what you believe you're worth. On the other side, we have this other king, King of Swords, who's mastery of communication, dealing with another situation where he's having to be very articulate in order to convey what he needs or what he wants. So either this is something you're going through with different men, maybe with one man, different parts of him, or a woman even. This could even be the parts of yourself that need to be strengthened through whatever is happening here. There's definitely some kind of angst in this reading in the month of April, some kind of sense of a dilemma or challenge that you're feeling that needs more balance. Your center card is the Six of Pentacles, which is ruled by Libra, more air energy. So there's this sense of like feeling very abundant and being able to give back. You're probably a very charitable person, somebody who gives big and loves big, and is free flowing with your love and attention when you feel comfortable with that person, or when you feel trusting of that person. Okay, let's start with a clarification card, Scorpios. Just reminds me of somebody like really keeping their cool and composure during a time that feels stressful. Okay, like I said, it's all in the details. If you feel like somebody's stealing your energy or trying to take your energy, you holding your ground and you knowing your worth so you don't engage. If you feel as though somebody's trying to take your peace of mind, or they're even racing thoughts that are your own and they're not coming from somebody else, you're losing your peace of mind. It's a time to get real clear and remember your truth and speak your truth in order to deal with that. Okay, Scorpio. Wow. On the King of Pentacles, you guys get the King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles is mastery of wealth, worth. He's an entrepreneur. He's a business person. This is somebody who's good with their money. If this is a situation, it just shows like high level, like being businesses and careers. This can talk about working on self-esteem. And it's followed by Five of Wands, which is conflict. So you might be at a place in your life where you're beginning to see good things happen, but there's some chaos around it for some reason. And so when I pull clarification cards on this King of Pentacles, we get the Empress, who is the wife and the mother. Then we get the Temperance card, who's ruled by Sagittarius and is also about alchemy and transforming obstacles. And it's followed by the King of Pentacles. So you get the King of Pentacles, and we're pulling clarification cards on the King of Pentacles, and we get the King of Pentacles. Okay, so here's the wife and the mother. This is divine feminine energy. There might be actually a story in this about alchemizing past issues or traumas and relationships through new experiences. So even though I'm not married anymore. I still am able to alchemize and work through some of the issues I had in that marriage, in that relationship, through my dreams. My dreams is the first one that comes to mind. So let me just stop there. I had this dream. It was so healing. We had this beautiful conversation. And I felt like I had reached a new level of understanding in who he is and why he did the things that he did and why we came together to do the things that we did to each other. So there was this healing, alchemizing energy that happened in my new life of old stuff. Okay, so you're finding your softness as well. The Empress is the wife and the mother. She's about creation and she's divine feminine. She's receptive and she's flowing and she's effortless. You know, whatever she wants to create, she can just do. She's ready to do it. So she's alchemizing a situation and thereby strengthening some relationship that's either present or is coming in the future. Let me keep pulling. I'm wondering if some of the conflict that is around you or around whatever this King of Pentacles represents, if some of it is due to like maybe too much drinking or too much partying. Five of Wands, conflict, chaos, and strife. And underneath it, when I pull clarifications, we get the Three of Cups, which Three of Cups is, you know, celebratory energy. But sometimes it can represent, especially underneath a conflict card, it can represent like too much drinking or overindulgence, too much partying. Sometimes it can be. Is especially followed by Nine of Swords. Is like, you know, after you party too hard, you kind of wake up with that hangover, you don't feel so hot. So there's some kind of energy about where the conflict is coming from. And they're asking you to stand your ground, okay? Because directly after the third card of the clarifications, we get the Seven of Pentacles. So he's standing his ground. He's very in tune, in touch with his worth. He is very grounded. He just knows his worth, right? Pentacles represent health, body, self, worth, wealth. So just you being able to still work on you, work on business stuff, work on your career, despite the conflict that's going on around you. Let's pull clarification cards on this Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is our Libra card. Six of Pentacles also is about feeling very charitable and abundant and able to give back. And on that, we get the Emperor. He's the husband and the father. So we get the husband and the father, and we get the wife and the mother here in the beginning. So this could have to do with finding more balance with your mate or with your divine masculine, even if you're a feminine, and being able to kind of pull your weight and stand your ground, but also bring to the table, okay? We have the Emperor, the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Lovers. So all three of these clarification cards are really like, it's like we're doing the work. It feels very stable. It feels very abundant, and it feels very loving and like a lot of love. It's weird. This reading's weird to me for some reason. Let's pull some more cards. Whoa. Okay, on the King of Swords, for some of y'all got some like side pieces or some shit going on, or somebody got a side piece. On the King of Swords, we get the King of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and then the reverse Queen of Wands. So a lot of people in this reading. A lot of people in this reading. King of Swords is mastery of thought, right? And being able to articulate myself, especially in times when we feel maybe we're being disrespected or cheating, or there's some kind of sneaky energy here where it's going to be important to verbalize what's going on. And then we get 3 court cards, huh? There may be several people if this is not about a partnership, like a wife and a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse and spouse, partner type of thing, this might be issues at work where you're needing to really stand in your power and be able to really express yourself, know your worth, and but also in a way that's not like you're not overbearing. You're gonna, especially when you have difficult personalities, it's so important that we learn how to really master how we communicate things, that it's no longer a time. This is my life here, right? Especially if I got a 9 to 5 and I'm clocking in and somebody else is telling me what to do, and I got a boss and like a whole set of duties that I have to do because they told me I have to because I'm getting paid for it. You ain't gonna fuck with my money. So we all have to learn how to really learn how to get in a space and get grounded before going in and having conversations. We don't want to be too weak and let people run all over us. B, we also don't want to be the opposite where we're overbearing and we're getting in trouble. That's happened to me several times at jobs where I'm trying to stand up for the right thing, and I end up either getting fired or written up because I talk shit to the people who are being shady, right? And it doesn't work. I end up losing my money, right? So this King of Swords with all these court cards, it's almost like before you go in for the conversation, here's the conversation. Dip into that water, right? Really get in tune with your intuition, do a little meditation, do a little bit of like tapping in and connecting with spirit. Thereby, through that, pulling your worth, right? Queen of Pentacles is mastery of worth, body, money. She knows she has to have a conversation where she has to be very tapped in. But maybe we have a tendency to be too fiery with these conversations, so just be mindful with this conversation that's coming out where you need to stand up for yourself or something like that. Wow, that's interesting. So on the 7 of Swords, we get 5 of Swords, which is another sneaky motherfucker. There's your time, okay? So another sneaky motherfucker with the 9 of Wands with the Death card. Death card is your card, Scorpio. So we see that we're no longer letting people take from us. We're no longer letting people get away with things. We're feeling a need to protect ourselves and to kind of guard ourselves, but we're kind of nipping that in the bud and working on those cycles through these people who are testing us, okay? Through these situations who are testing us. 9 of Wands is very protective over what he's built, okay? Because there's a sneaky motherfucker trying to come in and steal his shit or somehow steal his joy, right? And we're putting an end to those cycles, the Death card. We're putting an end to those cycles by learning how to speak well and by learning how to articulate or convey a message in a way that other people can really hear. On the bottom of the first deck, you guys get the Lovers card, right? Which I talked about is discernment, being very decisive. Is also about the honeymoon phase. And then the second on the bottom of the deck is the World card. A World card here comes reversed. So maybe this is a process that we've tried to tackle from time to time and haven't quite gotten it. And the cards are asking us to get in there and really do it. This reading feels like, regardless if it's a work partnership or a work conflict, or if it's a personal partnership or a personal conflict, the whole point of the reading is that we're working through obstacles with people, significant people in our life, people who have maybe even big personalities who are hard to talk to. We're really working at fine-tuning and mastering those, the way that I'm able to convey things and express things, starting with my worth, remembering who the fuck I am. That way I can move into the conversation feeling more empowered. But also an intuition that requires those conversations, kind of an intuitive knowing of when to push and when to pull back, when to push, when to pull back, when to give a little and when to soften up, right? The mastering of conversation. All right, y'all. I love you guys. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. All of these things help my channel grow, so I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for rocking with me. I love you. All right. Bye. Sagittarius, what's up, boo? Happy motherfucking April. This is going to be your all signs Tarotscopes reading for April 2022. 2022. For some reason, I like get stumped on that for some reason. 2022. Okay. This can apply for your sun, moon, or rising signs, Sagittarius. Check your other signs, check your other placements for additional perspectives. Down below in the description, you can find the links to book a private reading as well as link to my IG where I do additional readings, and I also offer a discounted reading only on Instagram as well. You can also check the link below to shop my crystal shop, which I launched in November. I'm very excited about that. What else do I have to say? Please hit that like button, friend. All the traction, all the movement that you make on my page helps my channel grow. The clicking, the liking, the sharing, the subscribing, of course, all of these things help me grow. So I would greatly appreciate it. Let me go ahead and let's get motherfucking started, Sagittarius. Woo! So today is, what is today? Today is Wednesday for me. These will be out on Friday, April 1st on April Fools. Okay. Let me go ahead and ground real quick. Sagittarius. Look, I got distracted. So I thought of something. Okay. It's actually not a grounding. It's more of a connecting, a tapping in. And grounding is what I do prior to turning on the camera. Thank you guys for being here. What's going on for Sagittarius for the month of April? Okay, Sag. Sometimes I pull the cards and like it takes me a minute to kind of figure it out. With this particular reading, I love it. It just kind of just I see it. So you're working really hard. You've been very diligent and consistent with something that you love to do. Here we have the 8 of Pentacles followed by the Queen of Cups. So hold on, let me get my thumbnail together. You'll see. I think this is what I'll use for the thumbnail. It's nice and white here, so you can put text here. You know, it's a little bit busier on that side. Okay, all right, sorry, had to do it. Okay, so when we look at the cards, we get 8 of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups, right? So we see somebody working very diligently. This is, 8 of Pentacles is the energy of like, it's hard work. It's maybe not necessarily parts of the project that are like the most creative or fun, but it's the kind of like getting up, putting in the time, nitty gritty, getting that shit done. Okay. But you realize that within that process, you are moving into and you are working on something you love greatly. So you're kind of doing the parts of the work that to you feel a little bit like, oh, this is work, but you know you're moving into something that makes you feel really good. Okay. Your center card is 7 of Swords though. Okay. So the center position for me is like really, really kind of like the predominant, maybe what's taking up most of your space or energy, right? 7 of Swords is, you know, it's a motherfucker that gonna lie to you. Okay. So, but for this particular reading, what it feels like is the energy of like the pervasive thoughts or, distractions or distracting thoughts or people in your ear, also your own thoughts in your own ear that is, making you feel like maybe this really won't be achievable. With that train of thought that comes, it's kind of bringing you down. It's kind of pulling you into kind of a depth that makes this process again feel daunting. So we kind of start on this upswing. It feels prosperous. It feels fulfilling. It feels really good. But then as we let these kind of nagging thoughts or lurking beliefs about ourselves, as we kind of notice that they keep coming to the surface, it kind of puts us in a place of feeling this angst again. The card that comes after the Seven of Swords, which is the middle card, we get another 7. Okay, you get 8, 7, 7. Okay, Seven of Wands reverse is the next card. So Seven of Wands in the reverse position is kind of saying that the work is really hard, and the work is maybe overwhelming. We may be taking things almost even to extremes about how we feel about it, maybe how we're working, putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, beating ourselves up when this comes reversed. Losing sight of the bigger picture also can be for this reversal. And then the last card out is the High Priestess. So she brings us back full circle, reminding us to ground and to get in touch with our intuition, paying attention to your connection to spirit, making sure you have a daily practice of connecting to spirit of some sort. For some of us, that connection is something as ritualistic, like meditation, candles, energy work, things like that. Or on the other side of the spectrum, literally connecting with spirit could be like being out in nature, right? So there's some sort of like reconnecting and getting back in your presencing in order to help you find clarity and pick back up on this process feeling strong again, not feeling like it's a burden. Because whatever we started is turning into a little bit of a burden, it feels like. Let's see what else is going on. At the bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Pentacles reverse. Knight of Pentacles is traditionally somebody earth sign, but he can also represent, the things we place our time and attention in, things we invest in, things we are building that we're feeling worried about whether or not it's going to actually be prosperous. Worrying about, like, is the money going to be there? Worrying about, will you get the returns that you're seeking in this endeavor, right? You're putting a lot of energy, time, maybe money into something, and you're hopeful that you'll get the returns. But because it's reversed, we're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by this process. Okay, let's see what else is going on. I would love some coffee, but it's a little late in the day. Sagittarius, clarification cards, please. Sagittarius. Okay, Seven of Swords comes out again. Okay, so heavy on your mind. Look what comes out on the bottom of the deck here. We've got Queen of Pentacles. So she's traditionally, again, earth energy here. So really like serious about outdoors, grounding, and connecting with your worth. Pentacles are, how worthy we feel. We're going to go for things that we feel worthy of. And we're going to hold back on things we want because we may not feel worthy. So that's why Pentacles are associated with worth as well. Like, I'm going to go for that job over there because I know I can do it. Like, I feel very confident in myself, right? So my confidence is showing up in the kind of work that I want to do, and vice versa. My lack of confidence shows up in the type of jobs I go for, or whatnot, okay? Okay, so we have Eight of Pentacles, and I pull clarification cards. We get Three of Wands, Seven of Swords, and King of Wands upright. So on either side, we have these wands, which wands represent passion, excitement, movement, action, energy to get things done, right? Three of Wands is very optimistic. He's looking over the horizon and he's contemplating on what's next, right? He's very much in his power, sitting here right next to the King of Wands, who is fire sign energy, your sign, right? Feeling very empowered. King of Wands energy is, can we just talk about his gator boots or his gator shoes real quick? Like, aren't those fly as fuck or what? Can you guys see that? Like, he's super dapper. dipping and doing it. But the point is that he's very confident, right? In between these two cards, we get a reverse Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, right? Theft, thievery, stealing, kind of some sense of someone getting away with something. So these thoughts, which came in your center position too, right? You got Seven of Swords here in the center position. And I described him as intrusive thoughts, as people or beliefs about self that would interfere on your process and tell you that you can't do it. And here he is again when we are working on building on the Eight of Pentacles, okay? So we're just needing to be at this time, and I wonder if the Emperor will come out here somewhere, because it just makes me think of like the kind of the mind training, the discipline that is super important to have when, especially when we're feeling doubtful about ourselves. It's really just about turning that shit around, turning that boat around. Oh, the boat's going, oh, poor me, I can't do it. And then we go, nah, bitch, and we turn it back. It's very intentional. It's a very intentional thing that needs to be done here in terms of not believing yourself, okay? Queen of Cups, who is water sign. She's indicative of feeling very fulfilled, intuitive, in touch, very grounded, very emotionally grounded and stable, and a nice balance and blend of being in a good mood, but also knowing when she needs to cry and when she needs to feel what she needs to feel. Okay, and on her we get Six of Wands, which is success, victory and success, okay? Followed by the Knight of Swords, followed by the reverse Hierophant. Give me a sec. So there may have been a very predominant person in your life or in your upbringing that preached a way of life or a dogma, or I don't even know if that's the right word. It preached something that felt very kind of oppressive, and that felt almost as though like, damn, you're telling me this, but you don't even look like you do it yourself. Like the authenticity wasn't there from this person or from this situation. The Hierophant reversed is a religious figure, spiritual figure. He comes reversed. He's standing ahead of in front of the church, and so he's preaching. When he comes reverse, he's not even like in alignment with what he says. So there's some sense of, and this is a clarification card coming on the Queen of Cups, who the Queen of Cups, very grounded and wise, and she knows who she is and she feels good. She's able to create this thing because she feels good about herself. With the Queen of Cups, there may have been something from your past that as to why we keep seeing the Seven of Swords, why we have such intrusive thoughts, why we're hard on ourselves, why we don't believe in ourselves, why we think we are a victim, why we ... So there's something that's being worked on through this situation, whatever this situation means to you, whether you're working on building something, you're working on a relationship, you're working on getting a new job, you're working, whatever. That's the situation, but beneath it, it's actually you're working on something much deeper about somebody or some situation you found yourself in during your upbringing that made it hard for you to really feel like you deserved and that you really could do it. Okay, let's move on because we're running out of time. Center card, Seven of Swords. Okay, love the synchronicities. We get the Star card, the Four of Wands, and the reverse Eight of Pentacles, which is the same card that came in your first position. So here it is again in the center. The center, the core of your reading is talking about intrusive thoughts, people who lie to you, yourself that lies to you, and we get the reverse Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so it's for you to work through this stuff. It's not the Emperor. I was hoping to see the Emperor here, but it's look, first card, Star card, Aquarius, also ruled by Aquarius, right? So we think of the mind and expelling all things from the mind that don't serve the dream, okay? Then we move into the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is building foundations, commitments, contracts that you've made with yourself, with other people, okay? Followed by the Eight of Pentacles reverse. So there's some sense of like backtracking and not believing in the work that happens with the Seven of Swords. It's going to be really important to stay. It's almost like the dream gets too big for you or something. Like there's an overwhelming sense of like you want it so bad, but it's almost, I don't know, it just feels like I'm defeated before I even start. Is how it feels. Okay, let's pull clarification cards on the reverse Seven of Wands, which I said the reverse Seven of Wands is kind of like really hard on yourself, or maybe not even trying because you're already overwhelmed. Seven of Wands can be beating up on yourself. Seven of Wands can be feeling it's just completely overwhelmed, okay? And then we get the Death card, right? The Death card followed by the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is about quieting the mind. The very thing that we need to have a seat needs to be quiet so that we can continue on this journey, right? And then what comes out, we get the Knight of Wands, which is the Sagittarius card. The Sagittarius card. Fire sign, yes, but Sagittarius in particular. So that stamina, that energy, that excitement for whatever this is for you is coming back, right? Is coming back once we've begun to silence the mind and do our work. Pulling clarification cards on the High Priestess. Let me digest. There's a little bit of maybe misalignment too with like the goals. Whatever you're working on, just being mindful of thinking that the spiritual path requires you to have, right? Nothing wrong with getting your bag, getting your coin. That's what we're here for. That's one of the human tools is money. That is, money is everything for humans. If you don't have it, you ain't making it. You ain't living, right? So we need money, but we're just going to have to just be a little bit mindful of how we link spirituality with wants or something like that. There might even just be a slight balancing that needs to be done with like maybe not even going for as much as you want to go for because you feel this sense of tendency to hold on to something that doesn't serve, or there's some kind of like you're so overwhelmed that you don't even reach, or if we're forgetting to tap in with spirit on a daily basis, or if we're forgetting to find ways to connect to our higher self, we can maybe get overly consumed with the money instead of remembering the source of why we even started. There it is. So don't get wrapped up in the wave of the finances. I know it's important, but you're going to always have to come back to the root of why you started. The authentic path, the who you're trying to serve, what you're trying to do, what difference are you trying to make in the world? What difference are you trying to make on your lover, your spouse, your family, right? And not be so clinging on to the material aspect of it, or the personal gain, or I was right? There's something there about that. Okay, on the bottoms of the decks, I told you guys, you got the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and then you also got the Queen of Pentacles upright. So we're just turning the situation upright. We're making it work, right? We're really holding and taking care of Hummingbird. Hi, boo. Taking care of your worth, like this Queen of Pentacles. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, I love you. Happy motherfucking April. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. These things help my channel grow. Check the links below for shopping at the Crystal Shop, as well as booking a private reading and checking out my Instagram. Love you guys. Bye. Hey, Capricornias. Capricornia. I think it's Capricornia, not Capricornius. Welcome to your April 2022 reading for Sun, Moon, or Rising. If you're Capricorn Sun, if you're Capricorn Moon, if you're Capricorn Rising, it don't matter. Even you want to check your Venus placement lands in Capricorn or something like that, you can always use this reading. Anyway, I'm being a little goofy. Welcome to your April 2022 reading. Please check the description below for links to my Instagram page where I do additional free readings. I also offer discounted readings once a month on Instagram that I don't offer anywhere else. You can also find links to the Grateful Crystal Shop, which I launched in November if you missed that. You can also find links to book a private reading as well. Sorry, I forget to breathe. All right, let's get into this. Please hit that like button. Liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. All of these things help my channel grow. So I'll wait for you to hit that like button. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's get into your reading. I've already pre-shuffled the cards. I'm actually going to start you guys off with something that I have not done with any of the other readings. I got Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces left. I only have 3 readings left, and I'm just now introducing this, so lucky duck. So these actually I have not shuffled yet. So we're going to start with these. What I'm doing is pulling one major and one minor. And together, these cards will tell me a story about the general themes of April for you, Capricorn, okay? You can also use these readings like if your boo is a Capricorn, but maybe you're a Pisces. You can go check on your boo and see what your boo is thinking, that type of thing. I used to do that. Oh, 2 came out, so let's keep them. And then let's, these are majors, so we got 2 majors for you guys. I just got a sneaky peek, bitch. I just got a sneaky peek. All right, Capricorn. Let's take, no, let's not. Capricorn. I don't even know if I said that right. Your Venus is in Capricorn. Maybe, right? Yeah, your planets can be in, yeah, your planets can be in signs. Your girl's learning, you know what I'm saying? Okay, 1. Yeah. I'm so tempted to look at the bottom, but let's just see. All right, so what came out for you guys in the major arcana cards is the Sun card and the Lovers. Very cool. But what comes out in the minor is we get 6 of Swords. So 6 of Swords is a departure from hard times. So because your majors show up here, let me set your timer. Because your majors are like so beautiful and bright, it's almost like you're coming out of hard times with things that, or with people that you love. If you're partnered up and things have been rough, it feels like you guys are going to be moving toward bright times, bright seas, calm seas. There may be a message in here as well to try your best, to do your best to steer the boat towards more positivity, and find yourself engage in activities and creative projects that bring you a lot of joy as a means to kind of steer the boat away from the thunderstorm. If you look at this, I'm using the Light Seers deck for this reading today, for this first part of the reading. This, like, I just love this deck. I don't use it enough, but I'm implementing it here. And this is the 6 of Swords on here. And we can see these ravens or crows are pulling her closer to shore, right? It looks behind her. It's stormy and windy, and she's got this bag she has with her, yet she's cloaked in red, right? So red is a color of grounding and feeling empowered and ready to move forward. So she's also, these crows and ravens represent for me spirit, and, you know, being connected to animals and the spirit world and things like that. So in regards to anything that we've been going through that's really difficult, I think that lighter times are coming, and but it's going to be really important to be very intentional about like what you catch yourself thinking about. You know, I can't help myself, but let's look at the bottom of this deck. We get King of Cups. King of Cups. So for some of you guys, this is about love. For some of you guys, this is about just feeling great within myself, feeling amazing. The Sun card, the Lovers card, and King of Cups. Okay. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys heard that. That burp kind of slipped out a little loud there, bruh. Okay. Oh, look what we got. Here. It came up again. I didn't even notice till right now. Same card. Love it. Love the synchronicities. I can't. I love it when that happens. So this is the last card out in this 5-card spread that I laid here. The last card out is 6 of Swords. So really, really, and look what comes right before it, the Moon reverse. So the Moon is ruled by Pisces. For some of us, we're coming out of Pisces season just passed, right? Okay, but some of us are coming out of periods that have felt kind of heavy and emotional and a little bit maybe scary. There were things that we went through that I think were illuminated for sure, especially because we get the Judgment card here. We get 5 of Wands with the Judgment card. So 5 of Wands is conflict. It's followed by the Judgment card. So these kind of go hand in hand. This is conflict and chaos and quarreling, bumping heads, things, just a lot of challenges popping up. And the Judgment card is things coming to the surface. Some of the keywords are reconciliation. I forgot the other keywords I was thinking of: epiphanies, breakthroughs, revelations. This can also talk about people coming back from the past, people that maybe you've had difficult relationships, or if it's not people, it's situations are coming back up to the surface that you've had a complicated relationship with whatever that situation represented to you. So there are things that you've been kind of like this purging feeling and kind of this uncomfortable. But the thing about it is that the Judgment card's like super spiritual, super powerful. It's that part that has to happen as a human being to invoke or trigger change, right? After we move through those first 2, we get the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a water sign. So kind of interesting. You get the King of Cups in this other part of the reading. So it's not the same card, but it's still a male of the same suit. Now, for some of you guys, this Page of Cups, he comes upright. This could talk about the young men in your life. Maybe some of the challenges you've been watching them go through. For others of you, the Page of Cups can represent a young or a new relationship, or a relationship where there's some new aspects being coming up to the surface. The Page of Cups can also just represent situations like opportunities and love coming your way, and blessings that have come out of the storm. Okay, on the other side, so let's get a visual here. Luna is all over the place. So here's the first 2 cards. Okay, here are the second, the 4th and the 5th cards. Okay, I have not included the center card. Let's take a look. For those of us who are visual, I'm very visual. I love watching readings on YouTube, but there are very few readers that I can watch where it's just their face. Opal Oracle, if you haven't checked her out, I fucking got a private reading from her. She's my day one. I love her. But she's you know, we don't get to see the cards. You see other readings where you can see. Anyway, I'm a visual person, okay? So check this out. Conflict, chaos, upheavals that are important to come to the surface. The second half is coming out of a dark night of the soul, or coming out of Pisces season, or coming out of a kind of a stressful, kind of chaotic, or very emotional time, right? And in the center, we have the Page of Cups, which is just this ray of sunshine that this could also represent, you know, young people in our life who have, through the hard times, have given us a sense of a sense of love, and even though things maybe have been stressful, maybe this young person or young people or this new opportunity that came into our life somehow gave us like a touchstone and like a safe place to feel. You see Luna walking around. Can you see my reflection? I can't tell if you can see, but she's walking in front of me. She's so funny. She's so cute. Okay. So there's just like this glimmer of hope that's here. On the bottom of the deck, you guys get Two of Swords. We get Two of Swords. I'm a Capricorn too. Let me take a sip. So we get Two of Swords on the bottom. Two of Swords is right a crossroads, a stalemate, maybe we've been unable to get going on something or getting moving on something, but because the center card is Page of Cups, there's kind of just this new take on life and this kind of ability to get moving. Two of Swords may be the energy that has been kind of hindering you from getting through some of this kind of the moon energy and the judgment card energy. Okay, so let's pull the clarification cards. Like I said, I've already pre-shuffled, so we're ready to go. Ooh, okay. On the Five of Wands, we get wands, right? Passion, fire, creativity, energy, okay? So some of the conflict for some of y'all has been about creativity or getting going on some project or getting going on something that you had committed to. For some of you guys, these challenges have been about, things have come to the surface, right? And you'll be working through what the King of Wands means to you, okay? So King of Wands traditionally is fire sign. Okay, King of Wands is indicative of male energy that's very powerful, sexy energy for sure. King of Wands, though, is followed by Nine of Wands, which is great, but there's a sense of like guardedness and feeling a need to protect myself when we see this Nine of Wands. Is followed by the Four of Wands, which is marriage commitment ceremony. So perhaps, and I keep forgetting that we're talking about the future, but whatever, what is time? Perhaps in the month of April, you'll be, really sis, you'll be coming up against some, babe, you really can't sit here. Oh, no, not the booty. Not the booty. Can you look at the camera, please? Oh, she's purring. I love you, sorry. Not the booty. Indecent, sis. Oh my goodness. See, she's the one that made the Only Pause page. Remember I posted that thing on my stories? Anyways. So stupid. Alright. So in April, there might be some things that have come up to the surface that reminds you of marriage or somebody that you are committed to or something like that. If it's not about like relationships that's coming to the surface, we're just talking about things, having enough energy to get things done and to follow through with things that we said we would, and feeling kind of guarded about that process. Okay, pulling clarification cards on the Judgment card, we get the Five of Wands. So look at the Five of Wands shows up when I pull clarification cards on the Judgment card. The previous card was the Five of Wands. So here it is again, like a choo-choo train. It's like the cars of a train. They all connect. They usually always, there's some sort of link. The Judgment card is coming to the surface, right? Epiphanies, breakthroughs, reconciliations, revisiting. And then we get this Conflict card followed by the Hierophant, which is also a number 5. Okay, so we get conflict on things that are coming up to the surface. And then Nine of Pentacles, here we are holding our ground and staying in touch with the things that we need to do in order to keep our health right. The Hierophant being in the center as well. It's interesting because the Hierophant is a religious, spiritual guy, right? Pope, head of church. And he comes on this, that doesn't sound right. He's followed by the Judgment card. These are the clarification card to the Judgment card, which the Judgment card is like kind of a nod to the Bible, right? The Judgment Day, right? I don't know a ton about the Bible, but right, that's a religious reference, right? Judgment Day. So there's this kind of taking a peek at or revisiting some of the things that have not been fair from my past, or the people that have been in my life that created a lot of hurt or drama in my life, where it's going to be mindful for April to just double, triple checking how you feel as people enter your life or old people come back into your life. And are they being authentic with you? And to remember to stay in your worth, okay? Because you might be there might be a little bit of a test in April coming up for you. Maybe you know, it's timeless. We're timeless, so maybe this is something you just went through, or maybe it's coming up. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Center card, Page of Cups reversed. We get the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is actually technically is the Capricorn card. So bitch, we're in alignment, okay? She comes underneath the Page of Cups, right? First card out is Ten of Wands reversed. Ten of Wands is almost too much hard work. Too much hard work. Back-breaking work. So this comes underneath the Ten of Cups. There's some sense of almost like maybe you were ready to give up. Maybe you were ready to give up, but you stayed connected to the goal, right? To your worth and to the process, and you stuck with it, okay? And look how on the other side we have Seven of Pentacles, which is like, you know, like now you can really enjoy the fruits of your labor, okay? And gifts and blessings are coming your way because of that. All right. So let's pull clarification cards on the Moon reversed. Okay, of course, we get the Five of Swords reversed, the Eight of Swords, and Two of Pentacles, right? So the Moon card is ruled by Pisces. This is called the Dark Night of the Soul. The Moon is always, when it shows up, it's always trying to illuminate something for us that's hard for us to face or see. I see Belle from Beauty and the Beast in the clouds, and Mrs. Potts in the clouds right now. So I don't know who that's for. Okay, so the Moon card is trying to illuminate something. What it might have been or will be trying to illuminate is how we make choices. Again, it's another two. You get the Two of Swords on the bottom and the Two of Pentacles in my hand. So there's something about, for April, that's highlighted about choices. Micro choices, I like to say, those day-to-day kind of monotonous or seemingly harmless or pointless choices that we have to make that are building for the whole. Okay, there's something about a pattern or the way you do things that's habitual for you that maybe you either get stuck and you don't get moving on it, or you completely get overwhelmed by it before you even start and never get going. There's going to be something that comes up or something that you've been going through that you're conquering, and you're slowly starting to leave the burden or the attachment that comes with that choice. And it may not be one choice. It feels like different things that come up for you around a certain topic, okay? All right, clarification cards on the Six of Wands. Six of Swords, I'm sorry, which is departing from hard times. We get the Ten of Pentacles. And then on the other side, we get the Ace of Swords. But in the middle, we get reverse Queen of Wands. So we're departing from times of feeling powerless. We're working toward physical dreams. whether it be you want to buy a house, you want to buy another house or another property, you want to buy a new car, you want to provide or add to the savings account for yourself and your family. You want to, whatever it is you want to do. You want to start a business, you want to grow your business, you want to expand your business. There's going to be a tremendous amount of clarity that it comes to you through April, where you have to really address issues with how powerful you feel or how powerless you feel, or even your creative side, right? Queen of Wands. Also making sure to use all of the kind of quirky magic that you use. You know, magic, I use that loosely. So what magic might be for you, what magic is for me, may not be magic for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So just using all of the tools that you can use to make sure you're creating and you're enjoying the process of life. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we get the Judgment card again. Okay, so what did I motherfucking say? I just said it. I said it feels like April is going to be about choices, micro choices that are tied to some attachment that is uncomfortable. There's some sort of avoidance of a choice or decisions that you're making that's hard for you. This is discomfort coming up to the surface, coupled with this stalemate, right? Being stuck. So we're working on that for April. I love you guys. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. I make it a point when I'm on YouTube, if I watch something, I like it. No matter what, I like it because I've sat there sucking up that person's energy, right? Thank you. I don't even need to say it like that to y'all Capricorns. Y'all already know. Capricorns, we are respect. You know what I'm saying? There's that respect element to Capricorn, and the solidness. You can always count on a Capricorn to come through for you, like when you really need help. You know what I'm saying? You may not talk to that Capricorn all year, but you can call that motherfucking Capricorn. So anyway, I fucking love you guys. You're my fave. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to watch your moon and rising. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment. Commenting helps my channel grow as well because it like affects the algorithm. So that's helpful. I love you. Bye. Aquarius, welcome to your April 2022 reading. Please check your moon and rising signs for additional perspectives. Please check the link below to find links to Instagram where I do additional readings for free. I also offer a discounted reading only on Instagram, so you can catch that as well. Please also check the link below to shop the Grateful Crystal Shop, which I launched in November. I've been very excited about that. As well as hit that like button. Hit that like button, friend. Hit that like button. I'll wait. Okay? I'll wait. Thank you. Liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. All of these things help my channel grow, so I greatly appreciate it. Aquarius, I love you. Let's get into motherfucking reading. I've already picked a couple cards and pre-shuffled these decks, so we're going to get ready to go. No wasted time shuffling. And this is what we got, okay? I pulled them, but I haven't really digested them, so give me a sec. Okay. Oh my goodness, how rude, excuse me. So what comes out for you guys, Aquarius, is the Lovers card, okay? The Lovers card is our major, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon card. So the Lovers with the Moon makes me think that we've been going through themes that feel kind of deep and kind of emotional, maybe heavy and stressful in regards to love. And then I pulled two more cards here, and we get 10 of Swords and 6 of Pentacles. Now, these cards are intended to be kind of the general energy that we're working with for the month of April for Aquarius. I've only done this with Capricorn. I did this with you, and then I will do it with Pisces as well. So just the 3 of you. 10 of Swords combined with the 6 of Pentacles makes me think, just give me a sec, actually. that we're finding more balance to times that have felt really deep and watery and emotional, okay? 10 of Swords is heavy. 10 is at the end of a cycle, so that's really good to see 10 of Swords sometimes, because it shows that any periods of like feeling overwhelmed is coming to a close. And also having 6 of Pentacles here makes things feel much more balanced. There's a process probably that's been going on for you that's felt kind of emotional, but that's been very key to your building and to your having to experience things that balance you out more emotionally, but also balance you out and like help you kind of see your worth more. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull the rest of your cards. Set your timer. You might want to go check out Capricorn's reading because I'm already seeing synchronicities. Not only that, this is so crazy how this happens. I love it. Your last card out is 10 of Swords. Okay, 10 of Swords, reverse. And you also got 10 of Swords here. This happened in the last reading too with Capricorn. So there might be a word for you in Capricorn's reading. You might want to go check it out, even if you're not a Capricorn anything, right? So let's digest. The center card is the Moon card. It's the same card that came out over here, so you get the Moon twice. The Moon is ruled by Pisces. You also get Knight of Cups here, who's a water sign. A lot of water. You also get 6 of Swords here, which showed up in the Capricorn reading. 6 of Swords is an air sign card, but it's an air sign card based on the water, right? So we see that matters of the heart are beginning. It's almost like there was some sort of confrontation or having to face some matters of the heart. Whether it was, I mean, you got to think expansive, whether it was literally you met up with somebody that you love, or you spent time, or you know, whether this is about somebody else or whether this is like a metaphor for just kind of issues with the heart. The Knight of Cups is facing the 6 of Swords. So there's some sense of like you confronted matters of the heart, or you will be confronting matters of the heart and deciding to maybe you took a peek at it and decided it wasn't for you, or there was some kind of, maybe there was even an opportunity for you to meet somebody, or an opportunity for you to get to know somebody, and it's almost like you decided like, yeah, no thank you, no thank you very much. Okay, your center card is the Moon card. The 6 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, sorry, is moving towards this Moon card, the reverse Moon card. So there's a little bit of a story here about maybe even like avoiding matters of the heart, or avoiding issues, being a little bit stubborn about wanting to meet this person, or confronting these issues with love. Because you sail right into the Moon, which is like taking us back into the darkness. And the Moon reverse is a little bit of like a refusal, denial, suppression of things that feel painful. And the Moon is asking us to see something. The Moon is a luminary. It lights the night sky. So even though you moved into your comfort zone, perhaps you moved back into the dark, right? Because you didn't want to deal with this, whatever this represents to you. What ended up happening is you started maybe even feeling worse, or maybe kind of the feelings will intensify. I'm eager to put clarification cards. I'm actually going to pull them all at once. Ooh, we got 6 of Swords came out again. I want to see what's on the 10 of Swords. Don't be a weirdo, please. Don't be making things more difficult for yourself than it needs to be. There might be a little bit of a story in here about like kind of a addiction is a little heavy, but kind of like the it's kind of easy. It's the default of moving towards things that create more struggle for me, something like that. The clarification cards underneath the Knight of Cups, we get a Knight of Swords. Okay, so because and I'm kind of biased about this Knight of Swords, I don't really like them. Because the Knight of Cups is about love and he faces the future, and then we pull a clarification, and I talked about like how you didn't want to confront him or confront what he represents, and we pull a clarification card and we get the Knight of Swords, who's like the annoying knight to me. He's an air sign knight, okay, but he's facing the past and he's very volatile, and he can just be very like quick to go back to the past. So there is kind of like what's feeling to me an issue with confronting the past, or how love, the thought of love makes you think of uncomfortable feelings from the past. And then you get Six of Swords, which is the card, the second card out. You get it here again after this Knight. So there's some sense, and in this deck, the Six of Swords is facing the past. So there's some sense of stubbornness about confronting issues with love, or dealing with this person, whoever this might be for you, Knight of Cups. That's really hard for you. You'd rather set your sights on making your coin. Okay, you'd rather just, can I just work on the physical part? Can I work out? Can I work on my health? Can I do yoga? Can I just fucking work? Can I make my coin? Okay, so, which I don't blame you, right? But we all need love. Okay, clarification cards on the Six of Swords, which in this position, he is moving to the future, but he might be avoiding here. We get the World card reverse, not completing some cycle, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be, okay? What's really going on is you're going through kind of a heavy process that is part of your karmic course. And even though I'm kind of reading this as like, don't hide, boo. I'm kind of reading this as in like, why are you making this hard for yourself? Why are you, even though I'm reading it like that, the cards are kind of saying like, it's okay. There's some inaction, no action that's required for your process. Or I could have read this different. I just saw something else. Or, look, the Hangman ain't going nowhere, right? He ain't going nowhere. He tied up. And he's a clarification card on this boat who is sailing away, right? So there might be a sense of like, don't let your thoughts get too carried away. Try and stay grounded in your thoughts. Funny because the Chariot is successful movement forward, and the Hangman is no movement, but they're both very enlightened and powerful cards. They're all three major arcana cards. So in regards, let's talk about this in regards to maybe how your avoidance techniques, or your detaching from thoughts that make you feel overwhelmed. Major themes with that, right? Because you get three majors on that card, on that Six of Swords. So it's going to be important. There's a cycle to be completed. That's going to be really important for you. That will help you be very successful. A cycle in regards to your mind. A cycle in regards to making choices that feel empowered, as opposed to running away from. Okay. The Moon card, our clarification cards, all came reverse. Annoying. But it is what it is. We get the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. So, the Moon card can be called the Dark Night of the Soul. And we get, on clarification cards, there's this misguided sense of protection. The Page of Pentacles for me is misguided placement of power or protection combined with the Queen of Wands. I'm combining cards and combining the sentence. And a kind of delusional fantasy, fairy tale, or escapism way of coping with things. All right. So this can be the energy of the woman or the man who feels falsely empowered, right? I'm a bad bitch, but it's really like kind of covering up hurt, or it's the anger or the kind of like aggressive kind of demeanor can be a front, right? I'm replacing possessions, or I'm replacing with needs and wants with a truly grounded sense of my worth. Okay, when we look at clarification cards for the fourth card out, which is Three of Cups reverse. Three of Cups is celebration, coming together, okay? But it's reversed here. So there's some kind of like maybe even going within too much, like cutting yourself off from people. I haven't looked up this in a very long time, actually. The Three of Cups reversed. Never be afraid to learn in front of people you're teaching or helping, right? It's something that I've... Fuck that shit. I'm fucking learning too. Always learning. If you ain't learning, you're losing. Okay? I just made that up. Reverse Three of Cups. When reversed, the Three of Cups can indicate indulgence in food, right? Sometimes they can say you're drinking too much. Three of Cups, there might, for some of you guys, that might be. Okay, but let's see what this says. Indulgence in food or drink, too much partying, right? I always say that. Perhaps you feel wary from too much interaction. Okay. So if you've been going through the moon, right, you just, get me out of here, away from these motherfuckers right now. In actuality, what you're doing by going within and going away is helping you become stronger. We get the Four of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Lovers underneath the Three of Cups. So if you're pulling away, just make sure it's very intentional. If you know you need to recharge, it's probably for good because of these clarification cards. Perhaps you feel wary from too much interaction with other people and need some downtime. Or you've become disenchanted with your friends. Or people around you, right? If we started off with not wanting to confront issues with love or some lover, and it's cups again, we could be just, I don't want it, right? In some cases, it shows a longing for friendship or a sense of community. On the bottom, we get the Four of Wands, which is marriage, commitment, ceremony. With Three of Pentacles, there's something being revealed. I was like, what is this card? How can I explain? And it came to me. I was in bed last night. It's a bath bomb. Three of Pentacles reminds me of a bath bomb. You ever had bath bombs for your kids, for little ones? Inside the bath bomb, there's like a free toy sometimes. The ones I get for Kai. And so it's like this sphere that when immersed in the water, it disintegrates, right? It's a bath bomb. And in the center, so it's up to just time, patience, and consistency to watch that bath bomb reveal what the masterpiece within. That's Three of Pentacles. And then it's followed by the Lovers. So there's some sense of like community, connecting, love that you probably really yearn for. But you're like, no thanks right now. Okay, clarification cards on the reverse 10 of Swords, which is your last card out. I'm kind of glad this is reversed as the last card because it kind of picks up and gives us a little bit of hope. We get Five of Wands, which is conflict. On the other side is 10 of Wands reversed. And the center is the High Priestess. So let's look at this. Either side is Wands. Oops, sorry, High Priestess. Love ya. Right? This is kind of the exterior situation, right? Why we feel like this. The exterior situation is that we're worn out, we're burnt out, we're tired of fighting with people, we're tired of challenges or conflict in our lives. We've probably overworked ourselves in the past, and so we're over it. But what's to be revealed is that once we have a nice kind of healthy dose of intentional going away or going within or returning back to center, touching base with spirit, these types of things become easier to deal with. They become much more simpler, much more simple. Okay, on the bottoms of the deck, Aquarius, we get 10 of Pentacles, and then we get the Star card, which is your card, Aquarius. So not only is it your card, but it's the fucking Star card, which is about just dreams. Let's look up the Star card, shall we? I haven't looked it up in a long time, but I always say, you know, dreams coming true and being in touch with the things that you really want and a sense of vulnerability. It's coupled with the Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Earth energy, like putting our dreams together with tangibility. Come on, this is good stuff. So even though the month might feel a little bit heavy, you, like, in the bigger picture, you're moving towards some dope ass shit. Okay, let me see. All right, happiness, hope, light at the end of the tunnel, and good fortune. This lovely card often portrays, okay, we know what it portrays. Upright, the star signals an end to problems and the start of a new happier phase of life. I think of it as the light at the end of the tunnel card. You've been preparing for this, and now you've arrived. The star shows you're in harmony with your life purpose, using your gifts beneficially. It signifies inspiration, intuition, inner wisdom, and joy. Boom. All right, so it's going to be a powerful month. And maybe this is, you know, something that you've previously already been working through. But you're doing the damn thing, babe. So don't throw in the towel. I love you. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Check the links below as well for booking, and check out my crystal shop. You know, if you haven't looked at it yet, check it out. All right, guys. I love you. Bye. Pisces, up close and personal. Welcome to your April 2022. Dang, that just doesn't sound right. 2022. 2022. That sounds right. But it's wrong. Welcome to your reading, you guys. Please check your moon and rising sign readings for additional perspectives. Please check the link below, the description box below, where you can find links to my Instagram. I do additional readings on Instagram for free, and I also offer discounted readings once a month on Instagram that I don't offer anywhere else. Also, downstairs in the description, you can also find a link to my crystal shop, Grateful Crystal Shop, which I launched in November. I've been very excited about that. And last but not least, you can also find a link to book a private reading in the description below. Since you're here, please hit that like button. Liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. All of those things help my channel grow. So any sort of traction on my page is greatly appreciated, Pisces. I love you guys. Let's get into this motherfucking reading. I have already pre-shuffled. That's the cat. The cat is thinking that the outside of the cat box is the inside of it. So she's like on the hardwood floor, which is great. So I've already pre-shuffled. Let's get into it. We're going to start with so distracted. I'm so easily distracted. All right, so we're going to start with the general theme for April for Pisces, okay? So we're going to pull one card here, and what's on the bottom. Woo! All right, so kind of heavy themes. We get the Devil with the Three of Swords. So there's some kind of like really stressful energy in regards to issues with the heart and love. The devil is indicative of addictions. Excuse me, it's hard to even say addictions, the shadow side of ourselves, those parts of ourselves that are hard to confront or face. This could also be things such as like overeating, addictions, or over obsession with sex and things like that. Food, eating, TV, shopping, spending money, overindulgence in social media. Okay. But it's tied to the Three of Swords. So it feels more like those parts of love that feel forbidden. Feels kind of heavy, okay? When I look at the bottoms of the deck, we get the Moon card, which is your card. It's the Pisces card. The keyword for the Moon card is the dark night of the soul. Real extra heavy. But it just talks about, you know, the moon is a period of our life that feels kind of intense and kind of emotional. We're feeling as though we're in a space that we can't see any way out of it. It feels very heavy. But on the bottom of the second deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is all about building family, all about building self-worth, all about building our careers. So there just might be some heavy themes going on for you guys that you're coming out of, and maybe even is still lingering for the month of April, that involves physical, material things. Remember, pentacles can also represent relationships. Okay, so let's get into the next part of the reading. I'm gonna go ahead and pull traditional tarot, already shuffled. A lot of commotion back there right now. Okay, so let's talk about the majors that come out, because that's always what my mind goes to first, is the major arcanas. You get three of them right in the center. Okay, I pulled you 5 cards. We get the Emperor, the Hangman. The Emperor, the Hangman, and the reverse Temperance. Emperor is ruled by Aries, and the Temperance card is ruled by Sagittarius. So you get fire sign energy all up in your spread. Okay. First card out is the Four of Swords. The second card is the Emperor, which is also a number 4. So there's this kind of feeling about foundations and building. The first card out is Four of Swords, which is kind of which shows a reluctance to quieting the mind and going within. They're asking for you to kind of pull it in, reel it in, bring it back home, and trying implementing some sense of discipline in regards to how far you let yourself go down the rabbit hole mentally. Okay. The third card in the center card is the Hangman. Okay, so this is a cool card to get right in the center. The Hangman here comes upright. The Hangman is about surrendering during times where you feel like your hands are tied. Okay, the surrendering process during stressful times will enable you to feel more enlightened, and will guide you, will be a guiding light for you. There are a lot of, I was going to say changes, but maybe not changes. Maybe the word is challenges. There have been or are a lot of challenges that are happening for you right now that make you feel like you don't want, like you don't want them, right? Who wants a challenge? Nobody does. But that's the part of the human existence that's very unique to us, is that we have these things that we have to go through, these traumas and these experiences that are unpleasant, okay, that actually are disguised as painful situations, but they're really calling, you know, they're callings, they're opportunities, they're doorways for us to make changes. The Temperance card, which is the 4th card out here, talks about using these challenges and using stressors as opportunities. Okay, this is a opportunity for you to rise to the occasion and to take some of this hardship and to somehow turn it into something great. There is a feeling in this reading that kind of shows that you may be kind of hindering, or kind of messing up the ability to transform, perhaps due to overindulgence in drinking or partying or socializing. So there's a little bit of distraction that's happening here. The first card out is Four of Swords reverse, which is like I'm going outside myself to get any sort of input. I don't trust myself. I can't slow my mind down, so I'm always outward. Okay. And I just noticed, it's funny, this Four of Swords, when it's reversed, it almost looks like he's laying on a piece of corn. I've never noticed that. So let's look. Look at his pillow. Looks like corn to me. Do you see it? What does that mean? Well, he's gold, right? He's in gold. In upright position, he's meditating and he's going within. So he's receiving guidance through stillness. Okay, he's becoming enlightened. He's gold, right? Just like the Hangman, where it's all this gold around his head. Colors in the tarot are very intentional. And they relate as well to spiritual meanings, but also the chakras and things like that. So we look at gold as being an enlightened and kind of a royal color, right? And the corn, to me, I'm going to take it down there. It's like harvest, right? If your head is on the very place that provides sustenance and nutrition and abundance, the corn, although I don't think technically this is corn, but it does kind of resemble corn to me. There's a sense of like laying within and trusting in the harvest and quieting your mind. It's a bit of a stretch, but I went there, okay? So your first card out is the Four of Swords, and your last card out is the Three of Cups reverse, okay? So there's definitely like a feeling of you needing to go outside yourself in order to feel good. And outside of myself can mean I'm socializing too much, I'm distracting through relationships. It can mean that I'm drinking, I'm partying too much, that type of thing. And then your center cards, which are really your core cards, is a calling for you to invoke more self-discipline and to have a fucking seat so that you can sit in this period of your life and figure out what needs to be figured out by being still. There is some resistance that shows up to what's happening, and denial. And it doesn't have to be there's just the keywords: resistance, denial, suppression, not wanting to deal with some of these challenges. Okay. When we pull clarification cards on the Four of Swords, we get the Queen of Wands, the Tower card. Queen of Wands comes in reverse, the Tower card, and the Star card. The Star card is ruled by Aquarius. This is about coming back and recognizing our dreams and being vulnerable. But we're looking at clarification cards about the inability to go within. We get the Queen of Wands reversed with the Tower. So the Queen of Wands reversed with the Tower is like any kind of feelings of feeling powerless, weak, or maybe even over-aggression. Queen of Wands reverse is all coming down so that you can actually truly manifest your dreams, so that you can actually feel in love with yourself and feel in love with life. Okay, so you may be scampering to keep yourself busy or keep your mind full of chatter so that you don't have to address these uncomfortable feelings about yourself. Okay, when we pull clarification cards on the Emperor, the Emperor is called the husband and the father, okay, as well. The Emperor is all about authority, a discipline, structure, okay? So he is very disciplined here. So they're asking for you to invoke more discipline. When I pull clarification cards on this Emperor, we get the Eight of Cups, which is leaving with a heavy heart. So there's something within the previous cards where you're supposed to leave that mentality, leave that way of thinking, bringing more balance and spiritual wisdom into your life. The Justice card is the center card. This is the card of Libra, okay, about balance. There's also kind of a story about fairness, doing the right thing, and making a choice that is, keyword for this card is emotional intelligence. So even though he's departing from and leaving these cups behind, he realizes these cups no longer serve him. They're empty cups, okay? And so he's leaving with a heavy heart because he used to really love these cups. The cups could be representative of issues with love or self-love or even addiction, drinking too much as well. Okay, so they're asking you to find more balance, and then you get the High Priestess, which is indicative of using your psychic abilities and your intuition in order to navigate this time in your life. Okay, balance needs to be restored. At the bottom of the deck, you guys got the Queen of Swords, which is also an air sign card. And I got Queen of Swords right when I was talking too. Damn. So these are the clarification cards on the Hangman. And all three of these cards are people. Court cards, people cards. We get the Queen of Swords is the first one out. So in regards to sitting with the discomfort or feeling things that you need to feel, or stopping trying to distract when you need to actually experience something, they're asking you that if you can do so, it'll bring a tremendous amount of clarity. Two queens on this Hangman. We have one queen who's incredibly sharp, articulate, clear, focused. We have the middle queen, the second queen, who is Queen of Cups. She's reversed. She's upside down. She's also holding the cup. So there might really be something about like the indulgence in what I put in my mouth, whether it's drink or whether it's food, some sense of to help me not deal with what I need to deal with. It's followed by the Page of Pentacles, which is like a misplacement of my funds or my time, my energy, a misinvestment investment in time, energy, money that is misplaced. Shouldn't have put my time there, possibly in regards to Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups can also just talk about, I feel emotionally all over the place. I'm a fucking hot mess. I don't feel good, right? And they say once you can surrender to this process, then you're going to begin to feel so much better. So much better. Okay, let's talk about the Temperance card. Temperance card here comes reversed. It's ruled by Sagittarius. Wow. And we get the Eight of Wands, the Ten of Cups, beautiful cards, and Nine of Swords. There's some maybe breakdown of family systems or breakdown of something, some situation that's been crumbling or some situation that's been really, really hard for you, that you really love this though. You really love whatever this is, whether this is a family that you're going through things with, or this is a lover or a job, or you hate it, right? There's some anger at it right now. There's some resistance to what this means, but at the root of it, there's a lot of love. And because it's crumbling, it's causing a tremendous amount of pain. The cards are asking for us to transmute this energy, right? Key word for the Temperance card is transmutation or alchemy. So there's something that needs to be transformed for sure, that's been weighing on you. Once you can begin addressing this stuff, working on it, being accountable, holding other people accountable sometimes as well, although generally we need to focus on ourselves. I think most of us spend most of our time pointing the finger at other motherfuckers when really you need to turn that motherfucking finger back around and work on yourself. So there's some sense of accountability in what's going on that needs to be addressed here. There's your time. When I pull clarification cards on the Three of Cups, which can be an overindulgence of socializing, drinking, partying, ... we get the Seven of Swords. Okay, Seven of Swords is lies. Lies. They told you that going out and distracting would make you feel better. Lies. Only temporarily, right? Followed by the Three of Wands, which is a very expansive view. The Three of Wands is looking above and beyond the Seven of Swords, which is the lie, and walking into the Six of Wands, which is victory and success. So someone in your life, or perhaps you have started to see clearly what you really want, okay? Whether you've taken action on making changes so that this thing will work, I don't know. But it definitely feels like you've considered it. Someone else or you are now very, very clear about what you want for your life, for your relationships, for your relationship, for your marriage, for your commitment to something or someone. So if you're not already on board, get on board. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. Discipline, surrender, transformation. Okay? In that order. Discipline, surrender, transformation. And your life can change. Accountability. Okay, you guys, I love you, Pisces. Happy motherfucking April. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It helps my channel grow. I know you think your vote doesn't count, but it actually really does. And check the links below for the crystal shop, for my Instagram page, and also links for booking. Would you like to say hello? I mean, you already walked up in here. You're trying to hide and stuff. I'm all done. Oh, look at that smile. What a great smile. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all. I love you.
Subscribe.
Please.